かなりナーフされてパワーが低くなったウコなんですけど、リーバイさんは、使ってキャリーしてましたので、ウコンは。そしてダムはファーストピック、ザヤ。ザヤが今大会一番ティアが高い弟子でした。それに対してノーチラスカサンテ。これはラカンとのじゃないでしょうか。そうですね。ラカン、ザヤラカンが一番ティアの高いサポート ADC でした。そしてシンドラ先出し。
Front to back, essentially, Team Wales are going to be setting up. Syndra works fantastically in that style, so I think that kind of taking a nice read here. But it does make it interesting to see exactly what Kiaya wants to go for, because I think this
AD ルブラン周りのナーフをされて勝率でかなり落ちました。47% ぐらい。そうですね、見てチャンプしか出てこない。カイサとおりますね。ここで取らないとバンされていなくなっちゃいますので。
We could see quite a few more
jungle.
We've seen a lot of jungle bans across this tournament. We've had a couple of wonky matchups because of just sheer quantity of champions banned.
Yeah, and a bit of a wonky ban that people may not be aware of is the Wukong. This is a massive pick for Levi domestically, which is why we're seeing it banned away. He was the only, I think, 4 games of it despite the nerfs.
お互いにジャングルはまだ取ってません。
So this is a guy that definitely likes to get his hands on it, but you can see as well, Team Wales again are going to start prioritizing more of these junglers. Bygone.
どんなチャンプで必要？結構ティアの高いチャンピオンが順番に選ばれている印象がありますよ、この大会は。なのでバンから漏れた中に一番ティアが高いものが物を奪っていくということになるんじゃないでしょうか。ジャンルルお互いに取ってなくて、次のピックがある CW がジャングル追加で2体バンしまして、自分たちでピック。
Kind of curious to see if it's going to be an Azir pick here for Glory. I think when you have this much front line, you're going to be relatively okay.
何を取るつもりなんだろう。ジャングルチャンピオンがいません。セジュアニが入ってる。
More aggressive jungle picks like even a Lee Sin here for Levi if you want to, but and with the Nico gone as well, looks like maybe you're going that way. Or Orianna as well, but same idea. These are tough matchups into the Syndra because she's got that long range CC.
See what Glory ends up going for. I will say Glory
リーシンがいましたね。リーシンが。とても勝率が低いチャンピオン。
He's not going for that. He's going for this Lee Sin instead.
一試合を除いて全部負けてるのかな。リーシンが。
And we've seen him had some phenomenal plays on this over the course of play-ins as well. Like I remember the one, I can't remember which team he's against, but the safeguard to his Q. I think it was BDS.
先出て加算手にレネクトンを後出ししていく。
So definitely has the mechanics to play that.
さすがにないか。レネクトンに加算手が後出しされてましたから。
Mid jungle now with the Syndra and the Viego there. So definitely going to be curious to see what Glory wants to go for. I think you need to match fire with fire a little bit here. But I'm not exactly sure how much ignition they have left in it right now.
レネクトンなのか本当に。レネクトンですね。加算手に対して逆にレネクトンを後出ししていきましたよ。
No slouch either. And we'll see what the answer is going to be in this
時間が経てばカサンテさんの方が有利になっていきます。集団戦のパワーも。
The thing is though, like for GAM,
カサンテさんが終盤は大きく上回ると。そしてオリアナ、バンが漏れていた。かなりティアの高いチャンピオンです、これも。オリアナもバンされなかったら必ずピックされてましたね。シンドラ対オリアナ、懐かしいミッドのマッチアップです。
Just try to get some control there, although the Nautilus can throw a wrench to work there a little bit. But then have that kind of mid-game spike that you're looking to play off of. When I look at Team Wales, it's very much a case of, hey, look, we can try and play off of the least of the early stages counter gang, but see if we can get to scaling, get to
3AD、180の構成がよく見られますね。今回も両チームとも 3AD、1AD と
obviously Kasante things later on in the game, but also when it comes to absorbing pressure, if GAM do try and play through that top side, we've all seen what happens when you try and dive a Kasante that's got fingers on the ends of his hands. It can be terrifying to deal with. I'm hyped to see this one though. Team Wales, I mean, they were the underdog coming into this tournament. They were the underdog against BDS. They won that series 2-1. They were the underdog against CFO. They won that series 2-1. And now, almost swapping seeding with GAM, who've had to come through the lower bracket. A lot of people at home becoming fans of the Wales across the course of play-ins. Team Wales can live up to that new expectation.
Yeah, I think Team Wales, they're going to have to try and find some sort of creative way
気
to
に
set
なるのは
up fights
リ
here,
ーシンの勝率がとても低いことですね。このチャンピオン
trying to walk through choke points into GAM is going to be incredibly difficult.
育
We're
つ
gonna
こ
have
と
to
がで
see
きないと
how they're going to manage this one though.
終盤全く役に立たないチャンピオンです。いろいろなことができるんですけども、器用貧乏になってしまうと。
As we head onto the rift for the start of what should be an absolute barn burner of a best of 5. Don't forget as well, as you start your day here, to log on to lolesports.com. You can get plenty of drops and all sorts of goodies if you're watching on the right website. Make sure you log it in though. Don't just open up the website, log in as well, or you miss out on your
特別変わったルーンもないですね。松屋がゴースト。
incredibly early here. North America,
まあ CC がノーチラスの
we appreciate it, but
スネアぐらいしかないので。
point goes Catty. Just get a whack as they get the ward down to spot out what B&J is going to be up to.
ザヤはゴースト持ってるときはみんなゴースト持ってますね。そうじゃないときは仕方なくクレンズ持ってたりしますけれども。
But I'm hyped for it. I'm totally okay with getting up early when we've got this kind of a matchup to start us off. Let's talk early game though, Dagda. We'll go to Ward on B&J, so GAM have full information to start us off.
Yeah, I think this is where again it's going to be a case of
俺らはサイドステップでシンドラの血を避けていく。
Like my eyes are kind of on, okay, you can play through your solo laners really well here on GAM, especially with the amount of control Kiaya should have. And when I look,
ジャングルは緑スマイトの人が多いですね。やっぱり行動妨害耐性がもらえるのが重要ですか、楽しんでは。
Yeah, I know back in the day it used to be
プロの CC チームは恐ろしいですから、素人の CC とは価値が違いますよ。
Because he had to defensively flash, he can't then flash to finish off with his stacks there.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying is that like
ジャロさん、サムスクライド6ヶ月目、ありがとうございます。GFM ウィン、ちょっと残念です。残念ですけれども。
To really take that 1v1 in the early stages, so, sorry, 2v2 I should say, but level 2 is hit.
ディエゴが敵にジャングルに入っていきますよ。
BJ not happy about it, but he's on a ward.
ちょっと無理じゃないか。
I believe I will just back away from this. Wolves should reset. No, BJ manages to get it ever so slightly wide on the shockwave as well. He'll be able to finish that.
しつこいですよこのディエゴ。
No chance of backing away.
ラカンとザヤを寄せて敵のバフを。
Back of that Cryo, and they'll secure a blue buff.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned when I saw how much control Glory had over mid lane, but actually look at the health bars for Catty and Glory. They both got hit in that mid lane, trying to make sure that Glory
4月
wasn't
の
able
終わ
to
りから
cross it.
配信を始め
Realizing
ま
that
した
his
か
top
ら
lane is completely gone.
もう
And
半
just
年
take
ですね。
a little transitional gank in mid.
ありがとうござい
See
ま
if
す。
Catty is, but wants to try and play for the top side jungle. But now watch Kiaya. He's moving down as well to make sure that he can cover it. And there's no way that B&J can actually respond to this invade on the bot side.
まあ序盤はレネクトンの方が加算点に対して有利でしょうから、もちろん CS 有利取ってます。リッシーは青バフを奪われて CS がちょっと苦しいか羽を食べて CS を伸ばして1ミッドに顔出し、シンドラにちょっかいをかける。カニバトル、いやボットがプッシュできてる。さやラカンの方が先に折れるので、ここもディエゴにジャングルちゃんとギブしていく。
Because he has no flash, he has to be so careful if any of these dives actually do try and come through. So at the moment, it's more kind of poking and prodding, but again, it's kind of coming out in wins for GAM at the moment.
It's a great matchup for it as well.
当然レネクトンが先にプッシュしますよね。ちょっと昨日か一昨日の試合で序盤から加算点が勝ってる試合はありましたけれども、それはさすがにおかしいか。あれピン止めできてませんか。あ、 ワリさんがワード先にいたところリーシンがとがめに行きました。
Kiaya knew he'd pushed in a bit too far. There isn't a lot of places for BJ to be because he
ファース
wasn't
ト
on
ブ
the
ラッド
top
リーシン
side
です。
of GAM jungle. So he ends up going that little
あれ
bit too
金
far
止め
forward
で
to
きて
get
ない。
vision, ends up getting spotted out. So
ワニさん
nicely done by BJ to get that first blood.
Great start to the game for BJ here. And worth mentioning as well that BJ, this isn't his first time at an international, even though it's Team Wales as an org. First time BJ, previously Saigon Buffaloes. I'm sure a few people at home will know the name. And Kiaya will certainly know the name after this one.
ちょっとリーシンの場所
to make sure he could get the damage down, so that then that execute came through off the sonic wave. So nicely done. And now Kiaya, I mean, still doing fine. He's already up quite a bit of control in this lane. You can see CS slightly in his favor as he collects this wave, but I expect he'll
こういうあっさりガンコを蹴るのは結構珍しいんですけれども、リーシンの場所の予測がちょっとずれましたか。
to rotate people around here as GAM, unless Team Wales actually get in position here. It looks like they want to try and gank onto the bottom side. Know that there's nothing there. Levi didn't spot the sonic wave.
これリーシンの球見えたか。
Oh no, those are two big red
危ない。
arrows.
とても危ない。はいよ
BJ all over this.
I mean, that was a jump scare for Halloween right there.
Yeah,
Turn on the
Choba,
lights, you're like, no,
強い
don't want to be
チャンピオン。
here anymore. And unfortunately,
リー
he would
シンで
already
その
stepped that
パ
bit
ワ
too
ーを
far forward.
存分に発揮してます。
BJ is everywhere
ちょっと
at
ビ
the
エゴとの
moment. And
CS 差は
Levi
結構ついてるんですけども、治癒でそれを補っている状況です。治療2つ取ったので早速リーシンに150円の賞金がついてます。
And rightly so, Team Wales again defying expectations so far in this tournament, and starting as they mean to go on.
リーシン怒ってますよこれ。
Oh, hang on, Kiaya pull underneath the tower.
まずいですよワニさん。
He takes the tower shot.
ノーフラッシ
Harder. Is he going to commit to this further? Doesn't look like it.
No, I think Kiaya had to get that wave crash, or else Sparta could just hold in place.
いや
BJ
これ
now spots out Levi.
フラッシュがないレネクトンを
Levi might have overextended here.
This is what we
お
want.
互いのジャングラーが
Action
見に
stun
行
comes
き
in
ますよ。
though. Levi gets out and does.
お
Shut down onto BJ. Glory can't follow up.
Great flash.
早速リーシンシャットダウンを渡しました。
Making sure he's able to get away from Glory's
これ CS 目はディエゴの方が有利ですから、シャットダウンを渡してしまうと治療を取ったチャンピオン。 一気に不利になってしまいます。このゲームの仕様で治療を取ったチャンピオンはすぐに賞金がつきますから、なので CS を取るのが大正義であると。カイさん、中の W をスタステッドで受けていく。
Golden's still very even, but maybe this is the turnaround.
お、ノーチのフック届きましたよ。ノーチのフラッシュとザヤのウルト交換とナイス。サポートのサムナースペルと敵の重要なスペルの交換はバース。 いやこういうジャングルのファイト。あーこれディエゴがオリアナのウルトをフラッシュで避けたんですね。
So now moving to the mid lane, as Levi does get himself the Rift Herald. So has an opportunity to inject gold into one of those carries. Could go towards mid lane for Catty, set up for the second Herald to take the tower.
いやお互い敵のジャングルに侵入し続けてます。
I would love to see it go down in mid lane if they can find an opportunity to turn that into dragon. But you can kind of see here that they're in a bit of an awkward spot. Cassie doesn't want to overextend the mid. Needs to get a reset off and TP back into lane before he can really do so. So I think Levi will clear out his entire bot side.
いやジャングル同士の激しいバトルが繰り広げられてますよ。
It feels like to me this is just
敵のジャングルに入ることで敵の位置が分かりますから、それによって味方を守ることにもつながりますな。ちょっと危ないですよレネクトン。フラッシュないですから。あ、ちょっと逆にまずい。レネクトンはウルトでダメージトレードしていきます。
here, trying to get out with his life, gets a root, walks up towards
中はレベル5
Glory, but Glory stunned out, and actually Catty
ノーチラスも5
here. Pallet couldn't get in range
ゴ
to get back
リ
out.
アはあまり涙を購入してる人はいませんね。1試合だけ涙を購入していたオレーナいたんですけれども、ちょっと危ない。
Scout of the week does
あ、
land, and
バ
there's
イオーン
Catty stepping up in the mid lane.
And I mean, GB was kind
オリアナフラッシュ切れずに指導。ちょっとレベル8なのでテストタイマーが長いですよ。
Trouble here, passive stacked up, but Artemis can't go further in the meantime.
テレポートがあるので
Sparta uses the all out. Health
ミリオンのロストは少し抑えられますが、トップでウルトがないレネクトン対ウルトがあるカサンテ。いや、レネクトンさっきのカサンテにフラッシュ散らされてましたから。いや、ワニさんが序盤負けちゃうと大変なんですけれども、と言ってる間に
Dragon goes to GAM, but Team Wales come alive. The Krill are picked up with
ドラゴンを借り切ったんですけども、ガム3人ドラゴン周りで死亡。これはノットワース。
Look at where those orbs are set up. Immediate follow up with the scout of the week sets up beautifully.
このチルライン
Could have flashed for the Orianna, but doesn't happen. And here, Kaya goes over.
これレネクトンはウルトがありません。カサンテだけある状態。レネクトンの W にカサンテの W をちゃんと合わせていった。あ、いやー、通常攻撃強すぎ。いや、これドラゴンのダメージが凄まじいですよ。死んだらもうウルトないです。ノーチアスのウルト2人に入ったのか。
Levi, no flash, no ult, no hope of killing BJ.
So far, so good for Team Wales. They got themselves 2,000 gold lead. And yes,
ザヤもウルト使わなかったのか、さっきの。
just hold that thought, because yet
ウルト
again, our top
持ってた
laners
と思うんですけれ
are
ど
going
も。
toe to toe. And it has to be said, coming into this matchup,
ザヤがもうちょっと右に歩いてウルト打ってたら。
Yeah, with the Iceborne Gauntlet now completed,
違
all
う
that
世界
extra
があったか。
armor, the Sheen procs, the slows are making it very tough for Kiai in that topside matchup. 0-2
いやー、トッ
for
プ
the
レー
Renekton.
ン苦しいですよ。アイスボーン完成してるカサンテは。
Half his health bar as
レ
he
ネク
says
トン
hello
さ
to
ん
Cat.
1対1何もできません。
knock that comes out from Pallet. We'll have to back away in the end. And I was going to say we have a moment to breathe, but actually BJ's moving in as well. And this is our kind of matchup, Dagda.
いや、これ先出しレネクトンではなくて後出しレネクトンなので、
As he starts
ち
to
ょっ
move into
と
this, Kiai will clear it the way. Wasn't sure how much Sparta wanted to go for that.
ちょっといい状況ではありませんよ。
We'll just get the charge.
とても苦しんでます。
Trying to be a pain towards BJ in the backside. You have the
そしてリーシンとピエロの CS さ、かなりついてる。序盤に消え取ったリーシン、シャットダウン取られてしまってから。
With the control that GAM have, unfortunately Artemis can't respond in bot lane and he'll have to leave.
So,
CS の差でピエロにかなり不利を負ってるか。
We've got BJ as well with that Gordrick, and we're starting to see some items come out across the board. What should we be expecting for the next few minutes?
The next one's going to be the Rift Herald in a minute and a half. So these resets, you can already see. I actually don't want B to go bot side.
いや、レネクトンブッシュに隠れていても
Establish the vision control that you need on that top end.
できることはありません。
Not having control against Sparta is massive for Team Wales because you actually then manage to get control here, as you can see, where you really shouldn't be able to. And how aggressive do you want to go here? Hang on.
Sparta playing with fire a little bit here.
いやー、レネクトン無視してタワープレートを殴っていく。
To be honest, he's happy with that.
Because it means now that
カサンテにプレート3枚取られましたか。
first move towards Rift Herald, which makes it very tough then
Ani
for
san.
GAM to try and contest because they are just going to play catch up for a lot of the fights. You can even see BJ moving up here as Sparta wants this. But no, just gonna be able to back away. But this is mad because, like, when I came into this, we were literally praising Kiai to start things off. Sorry, my bad. Sparta, like, in this Renekton matchup, traditionally it's Renekton takes Demolish, he just kind of ignores the damage from Cassante, it gets turret plates,
完成してません。ザヤも今完成しました。
and that kind of stuff. But you're not getting that opportunity here because the way Sparta's doing it.
ミッドルーンはもうみんな仮面ですね。仮面かエバーフロストしかいない。ルーデンを購入してたのはルブランが1回買ってたぐらいかな。
You're expecting Kiaya to be the favorite.
ルーデン誰も買いません。
But in terms of the
どちらが有利？これはですね。
I mean, wow. As we're
これは TW でしょ。そうですね、ゴールド差出ましたけれども、全連レポールを買ってます。特にトップと ADC のゴールド差が大きいですよ。
They're looking pretty damn good here.
ドラゴン1体来れてるんですけども、ちょっとこの回答はまた
For the charm.
ローチャーズのフラッシュだけで済んだと。カイ
Artemis, you're in a bad
さ
spot.
んのお立ち位置が危ないのでフラッシュ切りましたね。
For Team Wales, we were just setting up. Hey, look,
クリンさん
used to be the ones that had full
こんにち
control
は。
over Rift Herald, but B and Artemis
ベトナムの
overextended
1位
mid,
対2位の
forced
試
the
合
flash and the cleanse
始まっており
gone
ま
there,
す。
which means they're not really in a position to go for this. You don't have the ults. I don't think BJ's
Oh.
is down. Maybe they
全員 TP しました。
Hey, playing with
リ
fire
ー
there.
シン
Forced
バ
the
ー
flash
ドに
away. He's been
ドリンク
caught.
して
He
フェイ
tried
ト
to
が
go
出て
for
い
a
くが
kick,
無事
but
死
Zing
亡。
bailed at the last second and he's taken out for it. GAM find themselves a huge advantage.
Yeah, he tried to bait out the ult. Or sorry, the
リーシンの命を失い次のドラゴンもちょっ
everyone
と
on GAM try and turn towards him, but they played it patient, and he just kind of ends up leaving himself exposed.
取れないですよ。
Happily take the Rift Herald now as
荒
well.
ぶりを組めるリーシンの動き。
Continue pushing pressure.
Less of a being
10で行くと見せかけてワードでストップしていく。けれども捕まって死亡。
It feels like that big advantage that they had with this tower going down at the top side. Gold is going to be not
いやヘラルドのパワーを
That
存分に
first
発
rate
揮し
went
て
to
ます。
GAM earlier on.
トップ
Second
のバー
rate
スト
is
タワ
on
ー
to
破
map
壊と。
already, but Team Wales are on the scene.
Yeah, you can tell the
そして
GAM,
リー
they're
シン
like,
が
look,
デス
we
していた
don't
ので
have the opportunities to try and go for this. We used literally everything in the kitchen sink in that last engage.
ドラゴンやりたかったんですけれども、
Because it was BJ that got
トップでヘラルドを出していた
caught. They've all their ultimates up, so
こともあり、
GAM to say, don't go near this. We
リ
already
ーシン
won
デ
what we
ス
need
して
to.
も
Let's just
味
take the
方が
tower
ドラゴン
and
買
get
って
the
くれ
golden
る。
off.
ありが
See
とう
here,
チー
they
ム。
expected Catty to turn, Pallet to turn
Lee
with the
Shin-stan.
ult or with the engage, but because they didn't, BJ's kind of caught
ラカンのフラッシュ W ですね。
and you can still get the follow from Pallet.
Yeah, look at his HP there. There's no way he
今
can
大会
realistically
のラ
follow
カンとて
on
も
that engage without
パ
just
ワーを発揮しております。
getting one shot. So not necessarily the best engage from Team Wales.
And this is something that I've noticed a little bit with some of the VCS teams is when they try to come for these objective setups on towards like first and second Rift Herald, they end up like misplaying where they're positioned on the map. Like they send Sparta to bot side there.
カサンテの
When
次
realistically
の
they
相手
could
は
keep
サン
Sparta
フ
top
ァイア
lane
か
and
な。
actually use him as control to then move in
ル
towards
ビークリ
Rift
スタル
Herald,
2つ使
have
って
the
ま
push
すよ
in。top, get push with mid with Artemis and also Glory to then contest. And I think it's these little things where it's for Team Wales that ends up costing them, and why I think a lot of people were kind of doubting them coming into playing stage, but we got to see cleaned up in game 2 and game 3 of a lot of their series. So
シンドラ通りやな。シンドラはシャドウフレームかな。2手目に。
we're actually at a very
お互いに 1AP なので魔法貫通は
so much action in this
か
game.
なり強いアイテムであると。
Actually, the fact that we're here.
俺らも一応ヘクステックオールタレントを買っているのでシャドウフレームかもしれません。
And game number 1, we got one Drake apiece. Gold is basically even. And even though the kill count is reasonably low, or at least it feels very low, compared to the amount of action that's actually been happening in this game.
Yeah, I mean both teams
お
really
はようござい
taking
ます。
haymakers at each other.
クリムゾンさん。
Let's see where the next one's going to connect. For GAM,
ベ
it
ト
feels
ナム
like they're
対
trying
ベ
to
ト
play
ナム。
off of this topside vision control they've
面
just
白い
established.
試合ですよこ
Maybe
れ
look
は。
for Glory if he overextends, but you can see there Glory playing
何が起こる
very,
のかわ
very
からない。
safe because he just doesn't know where the
ちょっ
members
と
of GAM
悲
are.
しいの
Whereas when you
が
look at Team Wales,
リー
it's
シ
like,
ン
okay,
が
can we try and play off of our strong point, which right now is Sparta and BJ. Can we try and get
苦
this
しん
spot
でる
tower
とこ
for
ろです
ourselves,
か。
crack open our first third of the game?
ジャングルの
And a lot of
CS
this is
差
gonna be
40。
Artemis having good wave clear like this in mid with
ジ
BJ
ャングルは
supporting him,
1キャン
and
プ
then
で
leaving that
4CS な
pressure
の
down
で
on the
10
bottom
キャ
side.
ンプ分ですね。
Keep my eyes
差
on
があります
Glory as the game goes on. As you mentioned, has his items, needs to be cautious currently, but when it comes to those team fights later on, Yoriana's a monster.
お
Sparta, looking for 1v1 on Kiaya, finds it as well. The
令和のチャンピオンアイスボーガさんでから誰も逃げられず。
There's the exact
ワニ
play
さ
we're
んだいぶ
talking
それ
about,
死
but
亡。
GAM also responding with what's the best
そ
decision
の
for
代わり
them.
に
Moving
相手は
towards
セ
the
カンド
top
タワー
side,
叩いてます。
pushing Glory back.
ミッドタワーも叩いてますよ。いやこれダウンが有利でしょうこのトレードは。
Very overextended. That's the
ワ
TP
ニ一
from
人の
Sparta. Just
命
keep
で
his mid laner
ミッ
safe.
ドタワーほとんど削ってトップのセカンドタワーも破壊しました。これは
But the
ワ
thing
ニ
is,
さんは
Artemis
やられましたけれども、ワ
because
ーさん
everyone's left them. So if you get quicker resets coming through from GAM, they can
ク
actually
ゲ
come
ナ
back
イ
in
で
off
のアイドル。
contest both the
毒がという
mid
ことですか。
and also the dragon that's going to be in 2 minutes time. Like re-establish their vision
タイ
on
トル
this
活動
bottom
始
side.
め
So
ますか。
you do have to be
そうそう。
kind of careful, but GAM, at least for the moment, staying out on the map a little bit longer. So it looks like Team Wales should be able to at least continue the same kind of reset time and come back out onto the map.
I have to say, despite the fact that the goal is dead even, despite the fact we're even on Drakes and all of that, I am leaning Team Wales right now. With the way that these early scraps have been going, and also the fact that Artemis
これは完全なワース。
actually, yeah, UK esports here. No, but the fact that Artemis is the one grabbing these kills, right? The fact that Artemis has got his Kraken Slayer already. He's probably at a second item, honestly, off the back of a recall.
試合を見ていきます。
There you go, Navori quick play to finish off.
The only thing
レ
is,
ジェ
I'm
クト
looking
1 人
at
に
Rory. He did stay
対
out of
し
the
て
map a
ミッ
little
ド
bit
の
long. I think he's
タ
just
ワーの
completely
ほとんど
shadow
と
flame off his recall as
トッ
well.
プの
Maybe
セカンド
we'll
タワーを
stay
失いましたから
for a bit of a needlessly large
代
shot.
わりに取れたのがボットのファーストタワーだけなのでガムが圧倒的に有利ですよ。リシーさ
Couple times in a row now where sort of overestimating the control of the area.
Yeah, I mean, no vision at all in that bush and tries to take the shortcut, gets caught out.
Rishi-san.
Then this is going to be mid lane turret falling
ま
down.
た
And
捕まり死亡。
55 seconds until the dragon's up. You're losing bot tier 1 as well. GAM pushing waves here.
いや苦しい。リシーが苦しんでる。
Another pick, and it's
ラカン最強チャンプかもしれない。
both on cooldown. Baron is up on the
CC
map.
チェーンで動けずにやられてしまいますよ。どん
You've
どん
got a ton of damage off Slater. He's got Kraken Slayer, Levi. He's
これ
got a
バロンスあ
ton
り
of
ま
damage
すか
as well. So they're going to
サ
turn
ポー
and
ト
burn.
のノーチアスがいないので
You
視
have
界も
nobody
取れ
from
ない
Team Wells in the
リシー
area.
がいない
Just
か
like
ら
that,
スティールも
GAM
でき
with
ない
2 quick picks might have blown up in this game.
BJ running across the map as fast as he physically can.
とにかくプレッシャーをかけて
If you want
Baron
any
を
chance of contesting the Baron, it's going to go down here. Smite.
止めたいけれども
Levi
おピエを倒したけれどもカイサがフラッシュでバロンスティールしに行きましたが惜しいです。ナイストライ。いやー CC 動けませんね。動けません。これはですねバロンを取ったのでダムが勝つと思います。ガム勝利予想。この試合は
And now, with the TP from Kiaya coming back out onto the map, they'll be able to keep their resources safe.
いやいやいや
Bot side is they
プロプレイヤーの皆さんは神様ですから。
They can contest Dragon, but
everyone's on
he
resets.
reckons that they can, and Kiaya's moved in as well. They found a way in. Glory also out of mana currently, so had to go for that reset. Artemis wasn't on the
いやーバロンを取ってバロンリコールの力で早くドラゴンのポジションを取っていく。ここカサンテが体力減ってるビエゴを連れて行ってキルには成功したんですけどもカイサがフラッシュで取りに行ったバロンちゃんとガムが抑えていきましたよ。カサンテもいくら最強チャンピオンとはいえ動けなければ何もできないと。 いやこの試合はガムが勝つんじゃないでしょうか。相当有利ですよこれは。
Red Bull Baron power play already at almost 4,000 gold in their favor.
おウルトある。
He'll be knocked up. Artemis is there with the damage. Slater's gonna go down. Shut down.
レプルトないの？
GAM in full
ウルトがあるという表示になってるんですけれども。
But this means Wales can run down.
ザヤノーフラッシュ。ミッドの交換でボットのインヒビター。いや帰りますねシンドラは。おオリアナがリコール止めた。リコール止めたら。
Tower here to finish off a tier 2 in the mid lane.
いやこれは大きい。ザヤを捕まえてミッドのタワー2分返しましたよ。バロンを取っていたのに。 さすがに ADC 一人でプッシュするのはリスクがあったか。かなり気をつけた立ち位置にはいたんですけどもノーチアスをフラッシュインから逃げられずこれ CC にかけるだけでカイサがどこからでも飛んでくるのが強すぎる。これずるいずるですこのチャンピオン。いやちょっとバロンバフの時間を使わされてしまいましたけれどもずるいですよカイサというチャンピオン。柔らかい相手には本当に強い。積んでいって叩くだけで一人倒せますから。
The biggest problem that I see for GAM though is like not having the control for the Renekton. As you can see, Kiaya way down the total damage list, but we'll have to hold on to this as mid lane's in trouble.
Oh, Palette goes for the engage. Scatter the weakness.
オーラカンのダイブ、そしてシンドラもそこに死者を合わせていく。ダイブうますぎだけどタワーのダメージ。シンドラがずっと持ってました。ストップウォッチでタワーのタジャチル。チリ。令和のチャンピオンが去ってからも逃げることに成功。
It's gonna be a mid lane inhib.
04トレードです。
At this stage, you just want to try and get that wave in bot side, start to push in. You can see Levi looking to get the inhibitor as Catty goes to collect the
いや
wave.
今
Glory
大会
has
ヤーカンド
a good
本
amount of wave
当
there,
に
so I don't
強
know
い
if
で
you
す
can
ね。
finish unless you kill him.
本当に
Alan wants
強
to
い。
do just that though.
Gonna just look for glory. Flash for the stun from Levi.
これレディアントパーチというアイテムを手に入れたのが大きいのか。
The stun is there. The knock up and Levi
シュレリアだった頃はもっと簡単にダカンを倒せたんですけど、今レディアントバーチ持ってて硬いし回復するしで倒しきれませんね、このチャンピオンを。
Although it obviously GAM are flying away with this game,
さらに
right?
中の回復量もかなり高いですから。
But still, this is massive, beautiful engage. Because the whole point that I was about to say was that you
初
actually
日のガムはちょっとうまくいってなかったんですけども、ここで調子を取り戻してきましたね。ベトナムの強さを見せてくれて嬉しいですよ。
pushing sides, collapsing immediately on towards the mid lane.
これがベトナム1位。ガムの力。
Ever since top and mid went down, and then here flash forward from Levi.
初日でブラジルに負けていた。
It will be a mid inhibitor down. Bot inhibitor will still be
あ
there.
そこからちゃんと出世してきましたよ。これ倒しきれんのかビエゴ。強いな。ブラッククリーバーと TF。
push in mid, get control over top side, and try and force Team Wales to face check you into the Baron pit.
I feel like Gorborg is going to have to change his all-pro team at this rate because this has not been the story of glory. This has been Catty all over, absolutely dominating these fights. That last fight as well, the double kill to
でも
start.
最後までわからないのがリーグオブレジェンズ。
His flash is
見ていきましょう。
on cooldown for this next fight. In fact, 4
カイ
flashes
サ
currently on
は
cooldown for GAM, although Slayers
3
will
手
be
目
up
か4手目にみんなハリケーン買ってますね。
small window of opportunity. But perhaps not as BJ caught again, stunned by Catty. He's just on
リーシンさん
fire. Trying to pull him back into the fray, but he'll
リーシンをいじめるな。
the rest of the fight should be all about GAM. Team Wales, they started the game well, but they've
いや
also
やめて
started this series in the way they have every series here in play-ins. They go 1-0
や
down, and GAM, they want to repeat what happened in VCS finals here. Just trying to buy time.
これは
It's not gonna
GG です。
happen. GAM will take down this Nexus.
リーシンが捕まって死んでしまうシーンが3回か4回ありましたよ、この試合。何もさせてもらえなかった。ジジイ。
So,
このチャンピオンがファーストピック一番多くされているでしょう。
starting off with Slater grabbing himself that
そしてザヤに対してはカイサー。
Curious to see if they do decide to take away the Rakan here, or if they're happy to just go for the Nautilus Kaisa once more. Oh, sorry, the Rakan's by the way, but I think again you're kind of in a position where you can go for this more aggressive style. We also saw Big going for things like the. Oh, he's actually. I was going to say the rail.
まずレルを取りました。カイサは3番目でもいいということですか。まあ今取らなくてもいいといえばそうなんですけれども、他に優先したいものがあるならカイサ以外でもいい。いや、グループステージに行ったら少し変わってくると思いますよ。毎年そうですから。そしてカイサー取っていってジャックス先だし、バンから燃えたジャックスを先に取っていくか。ジャックスのカウンターチャンピオン、ガレンが出てきていたのは知ってます。
It looks like Kiaya has taken off the gloves himself and wants to go and
ガレン、グラガス、トッピー、そのあたりが、あとガングプランク、このあたりがカウンターと言われてますけれども、どれもチャンピオンパワーがガレン以外はチャンピオンとは足りないか。ガレンもプロシンで出すにはちょっと簡単なチャンピオンではないと。そしてミッドトップ先だし、ジャックス、ビクター。
And had a brilliant performance on it yesterday as well, so not fully surprised to
こ
see
れ
it
サ
brought
ポ
up,
ート
but
何
still
取るんだろ
having
う
this
な。
much variety on it, I think you can kind of see that Catty understands what he's up against in Glory and how he wants to try and fight against it. So now the
ジャック
response
スに
from
対してカサン
Team
テを当
Wales,
てま
he's
し
just
た。
going to be that Cassante.
カサンテ出すときはジャックスをバーしていた覚えがあるんですけ
I
れど
think
も。
you're kind of happy with the way this has gone as GAM. You got a really strong top laner in the Jackson at top side of the map. Great team fighting in the 4v4 with Desire and your Victor. if I'm actually Team Wells, I'm not looking so much at things like the Lee Sin
カレンさん CC がないチャンピオンですし
Levi. I think you need to try and focus on more engage heavy support our junglers, which is why I think you're looking at Sejuani.
完全な徒歩ドリンクないチャンピオンなので
So that's Sejuani not going to
使
go
うの
on
が
through.
簡単では
Wouldn't
ない
be
と
too surprised
思
to
います
see more jungle bans once again.
そして余っ
But
て
you
いた
could
セ
see
ジュ
some
アニ
bans
が
towards Glory
バ
coming
ン
on
され
through.
ます
That's what
そ
we
し
saw
てニ
last
コ
time.
もバン
Catty having his
ニ
choice
コ
to
はバン
match
さ
up.
れる
This
か
time it's
ビ
not
ックされ
Syndra.
るか
Still ban. I mean, they banned the
フ
Ari
ォリア
last time.
ナが
They
空い
banned
て
the
ます
Nico last time. We'll see what they go for the third ban this time. Whether it's that LeBlanc once again.
Yeah, I imagine it will be the LeBlanc can do relatively well against the Victor. Or the option is actually just to get rid of the Orianna and say, hey, look, no, we just want to make sure we are stronger in team fights. Because
ルー君バンそうですねこれはターゲットバンでしょうリヴァイしかこの大会ルー君を使ったプレイヤーはいません
could be an option, but we'll have to
カリア出していきますそしてノクターンもバン
to be perfectly honest.
ジャングルもういないぞ
Necessarily
リーシン
expecting them to ban does mean even more
リーシンしか思いつかない
So many
ジ
jungle
ャングル
bans
何か言
in
ったっ
this
け
one. Is Talia still wide open? And one of the big things we always say about Talia, things like the Orianna, things like the Azir do well
ビエゴ
into
い
it.
ま
But
した
Victor,
あともうリーシンしかいないのでは
that's what I'm talking about. It's not going to be the matchup. It's going to be
リーシン以外い
Viego
ます
that's
か
the feature.
Yeah, I'm curious to see exactly what Levi wants to go for. And you kind of need something that
take the
won't get
Lee Sin.
pushed out.
Throw the
I mean, it
gauntlet.
probably is the Lee Sin, to be perfectly honest, because I just don't really
Gamu
know the
Kainu.
skills, but you would like something
TTG
that's
san,
accurate. I know
konnichiwa.
Levi has played Zac in the past, but I
Domo.
think you end up falling too far behind if you go for something like that in the 1v1. So I think you have to go for Lee Sin, which means Palette needs a big engage tool, so maybe it is just an Nautilus. Could also be something like a Leona potentially here, just to make sure you've got the tanky stats that Nautilus doesn't really offer you as much as a
いま
Leona.
したねそんなチャンピオンが今大会1回も出てないと思うんですけど
Literally
Leona
running back
pick
the
しました
matchup the
もうサ
opposite
ポートで
way around. If he wins both of them,
出せるチャン
if
ピオン
that
がいない
doesn't
か
send the message to Team Wales, I don't know what
Chivas.
will. BJ gonna have his work cut out for him.
の
It's Team Wales, they've got to figure out what they want in this mid lane. The Talia has been the hover.
カリアですねカリア
I really like the
オ
Talia
リ
here.
アナは
It's
バン
both
から
the
漏れたん
honorable
ですけども
alert
出
for
てきませんでした
the around GAM, but also then the wall for how immobile
ラドさん硬いん
Like
で
if
す
you
け
can
ども
burn a flash on towards Desire, the Victor, and then they have to
今
try
大
and
会
poke it
初め
at
て
the
の
point. There's very easy and multiple different angles of attack for you to try and use this Weaver's wall to cut them off, and a ton of follow-up when you look towards like Artemis even being able to send himself in, but Sparta
最弱チャンピオンリーシンを
to
取っ
get
た
someone
ガム
in that corner. So
ど
I'm
うなる
excited
の
to
か
see now if Team Wells can try and fight back, because again, I think they did a really good job in the early stages of the last game. They actually got a little bit of a lead, but it was starting to fall apart in the mid game. And BJ
ビクターは
that were getting caught out.
こ
If
の
you
ガ
can
ム
take this a little bit
ガムの
slower
ミ
and
ッド
set
レ
up
ーナー
those
が
more
昨日
are
かな
actually fine set up for those fights, I think you'll be in an
使って
okay
ま
spot.
したねビクターでキャリーしてま
See
したよ
if they're
試
going to be
合を
able to find those
序盤にダブルキ
moments.
ル手に入れてそれからは
I'm
もう
looking
ずっ
towards
と
him, the Leona.
有
Not
利
a
を
pick
取って
that
ま
we've
し
been
た
seeing a lot of really across the year, to be honest. It feels like this has been the first year in a long time where Leona has sort of fallen out of favor, but still can be an incredibly potent pick with the Eclipse online.
ビクターは序盤カリアに
and can sell very well for tower dives.
カリア相
Yeah,
手
and
に
I think
主
that's
導
kind
権
of
が
where
取れ
you're
ますか
looking at is there's always the trade-off. Like I know Nautilus is tanky in the early stages, but a late game Nautilus just isn't really able to cut it because you do have to
コ
figure
ーチと
yourself
コーチ
in.
が挨
But
拶を
you
す
get
る
a
の
lot
は
of the resistances that you get with say like
この
an
ゲーム
Alistar
の
off
ルール
the
になってます
Leona off the W. So I think that's where again you're kind of going right. I want something that can actually be that engage tool that goes in, but survives the initial engage setup. And Nautilus just doesn't quite have it, and especially into stuff like the Rel, even Sparta. It just means that if you're going in as
ガム
Nautilus,
対
you're not getting back
GW
in.
の
At
2 試
least Leona
合
has a
目
bit
で
of a
すね
chance to stick around for a while.
It's time to
始まりま
get
す
Finite underway intact. It's time to get into game number 2, and I'm hoping for Team Wales they can live up to what has happened throughout play-ins and get that second game on the board. They've lost game 1 of every single series in play-ins so far. We'll see if they can get back on top of things. And don't forget to connect your Prime Gaming account to your League of Legends account. You'll get yourself an
レ
experimentation
オナとレルが
emote
クレイシャンと
to use across the course of
そ
this
して
tournament.
お互いにクレンズです
In
ね
solo queue. But I'm looking towards this
サポートの
position
CC
stack
が
there.
多いですか
I
ら
can already feel like
クレ
there's
ン
going
ズ
to be
と
action like Sparta and Kiaya. You know they're going to go toe to toe.
そし
Levi
て
and
カリアが
BJ,
コラ
you
プ
know
トポー
they're
ション
going
で
to
ビ
go
ク
toe
タ
to
ーが
toe. And down in that bottom lane as well, Rel versus Leona.
ドラ
I
ンデ
feel
ィン
like
グ
that's a brawl just
交
waiting
渉
to
2
happen.
つ
I mean, whenever you see Leona, it's just like, hey jungler, down here, right here, I can set you up right here. And I think that's exactly what they might need
敵のジャン
in
グル
this
に入っていきま
engage
す
as Team Wells looking to do pretty much similar to last one, which is I thought was going to be get a word down, yeah, there it is, and then back it on.
Yeah, well, Palette going to be shouting for Levi. We'll see if Levi very
お
literally
互い
sees
に
the
これ
light. Oh, he can't easily sin. He can't see anything.
And he's been spotted himself. It's a disaster. All the information going across the team Wells because
ディエ
Lee
ゴはボット側の
It's a night.
自分と味方のジャングル、リーシンは上側のジャングルに
Side of GAM.
行きますね。
I am of course joking. Look,
お互いに分かっているので敵のジャングルがいる側のレオンが下がることになりますか。
As already fighting in that bottom side, we're looking towards these junglers though, pathing in opposite directions as this sort of went a little longer than I expected to.
なのでこれジャックスをジャックス側が有利でモッドは回避される側が有利と主導権を取れるでしょう。やっぱりセーフプレーをするレーナーはある程度 CS は失いますから。CS を失うし、ウェーブを押し込まれるので、タワー下で CS をいくつか失いますよ。
It's not just the fact that it's a repeat of the VCS finals, it's also that, like, individually for these players, this is personal. And for Beer, who didn't get to play in that finals, he wants to show up, especially after game number 1, but he's rooted. Palette trying to get
いや、
on
入
top
ってい
there.
くレオナに対してダメージを返していく。
Nice interrupt from the Crash as well on the Zenith play. As Leona went in, just barely clipped him on the back end means that B doesn't actually get stunned up. So split map at the moment, and going back to what used to be GAM style, like coming back before they added Slater into the
今
mix, this is
の
kind of how they
今
want
大
to
会を見てると、お互いにジャングルはミッドボット
Levi, RTI even on the carry as well means that
見ることが多いですが、トップレーンにジャングルが行くのはよっぽど勝ちに行くようなトップのマッチアップの時くらいですか。いや、フルクリアのスピード、まあ序盤最初のキャンプを借り始めるのがビエゴの方が早かったのはあると思うんですけども、ビエゴの方がかなりジャングルクリアスピードを上回ってますよ。フルクリアしてスカトルも借りました。ちょっと映像が止まってます。止まらないで。これタイマーちゃんと表示できてますよね。でもできてますね。お互いにずっと敵の上側と下側で分かれてます、ジャングルが。これディエゴが自分のラプターを確認しに行きまして、あ、フォワードブリンクがリーシンに入れてまた負けるのかリーシン。あいや
body blocking from Glory as well, just to make sure that he takes a little bit more time to get to the wall, so he can't flash over. And again, late ward hop from Levi to be perfectly honest. I think you just need to clear it out, got a bit greedy, try and finish off those Raptors, and ends up paying for it with his life.
ちょっとカサンテが危ないのでウェーブをプッシュできるまでディエゴがジャックスにちょっかいをかけます。すごいダメージ出てますよ。これはカサンテがこの体力だとディスする可能性があるのでジャングルがプッシュを手伝ってあげましたね。優しいな。これワードブリンクがどうなったこれ。ああ間に合わず。
to try and prevent him from getting to the wall.
いやー、その1ですが大きい。
Just a bit of a mistake from Levi coming through.
And realistically, even if he gets the flash off, Glory and BJ both with flash available. Beer caught in the jungle here.
いや、レル硬いですよ。
Certainly not going to slow down his game.
でワードに成功。
I don't know if you really want to overextend their team Wells to try and contest that though. You can see Artemis had control over bot side. He's about to crash this wave, so Artemis would have missed out on a lot of CS, and even where BJ was positioned, made it a bit difficult for him to get in. So they will just back away. But I like the GAM again. Once bitten, they aren't twice shy. They still want to get in and try and fight against everything and get control on the map where they can.
はい、さあセレイテッドダーク。吉沢さんこんにちは。パンチと。ガム対 TW の2戦目始まっております。リーシンがワードブリンク間に合わずに
First dragon onto
一
the
デ
map.
スしたところですね。
Feel like Team Wales trying to get control of the area.
I think Team Wales are kind of responding to the fact that Sparta took a really bad trade in that top side, forced the
もう
reset.
統計が証明している。
Chances are Levi's
この
gonna
2
be
体
up
の
on
チャン
that
ピオ
top
ンで
end.
勝てるチームがいないと。
And the clearing that's happened, and also trying to support Kiai and getting the plate. So they're trying to cross map it at the moment.
リーシン序盤に大幅にバフを受けてもまだ雑魚チャンピオンか。リーシンはどこまで行ってもリーシンか。
Kiai getting a good lead and actually might get a good amount of damage on Sparta as he comes in here.
Sparta actually using the W a little bit early, but they all
Jack-san,
out Kiai back underneath the tower! Sparta once again punishing this top lane.
This is Sparta! Every time Kiai has tried to make a play on him in that top side, he's been absolutely
ちょっ
decimated
とタワ
by
ー
this
ダ
Cassandra
タワーダ
play.
メージを
And
受け
that
す
would
ぎ
have
ま
been
し
it.
た。
Like Levi just wanted to get Kiai, hey, go for a trade,
Not
get him
to us.
low, we finish him off. And now instead it's Levi who might be finished off as well as Glory in the area.
おっと
Exact same spot as last time. Glory.
リーシン
trying
フラッ
to
シ
set
ュ
it up
タ
for
レ
his
の
team. That's
W を避けて
flashed
い
down
く。
for Levi.
フラッシュないです。
And BJ, the whole gang is here to ruin
リー
Levi's
シン
day.
再び死
There's
亡。
always a lot more whales. They swim in packs and they find Levi in that one. Sparta getting the roam down means he's got absolutely nowhere to go.
カサンベにもう一キル追加と。
of more team whales who've showed up.
Do you know,
行く。
I don't know enough about whales to challenge
There is
whether
a
or not they
term.
swim in
They do
packs.
swim. Is it a school? I know it's a school of fish, but they do swim as like baboons essentially. So it's and in family, no one gets left behind except for Levi.
いやーカサンベがフラッシュからジャックスをかわしたに押し込んで一無事勝利と。
Fancy footwork again, getting in behind him, getting the knockback.
リーシンさん
And then
つまみ食いダメですよ。
Is the chicken that
リーシンさん
Like,
人
do
の
you
お家の
really need to extend
チキン食べちゃダメですよ。
twice and get caught in the same spot by the same play at the
囲まれた。
literally a minute and a half later.
何もできず死亡。
Because I too am a lover of chicken. I'm going to say worth there. Delicious.
The producers just admitted in my ear, whales travel in
盗
pods.
み食いはいけませんな。リーシンども。
Pods of 2 to 3. So, well, we kind of broke it there.
そこは
because
相
there's
手の
about 4 of them.
ジャングルですよ。
Little too many, but
You
it
know,
still works out.
Team Wales, they're a big pod. They're
Yeah.
a big pod. It may not be normal, but it's certainly looking good here. And
だいぶに気もするようなフラッシュだけれどもちょっと無理があるか。 タワーもターゲットが切れていない。 わす。
They're surviving, but they got Artemis down. He's going to lose so much CS.
この回差はヘルブレードアンブラドクレーブ回差ですね。
Nicely there on that bottom side, getting the play. Glory actually got ults in here just to pick up the wave. I like this. Make sure that you can get enough of that experience. It's not just going to waste. You see the push.
いやおそらくピックは選手が決めている部分も結構あるでしょうから。
Artemis still going to be substantially behind. Whereas Glory going to a little bit of an advantage off that.
そうですね、かなり大きいウェーブができてましたから、これは対応しないといけないと。
Very nicely done.
もう無事回差を通せたので、これは OK でしょう。
It felt like things were getting away from
ボットの CS 差がかなりつきましたよ。
Team Wales were starting to find the advantage. As all out once again from Sparta. He goes back in onto the counter strike, but he's just gonna kill him.
いやー、このチャンピオンどうなってるんですか。
Doesn't matter, Sparta. He's just decimating him.
ソロ級ではザコチャンピオンって聞いたんですけど、カサメさん、勝率 46% か 7% のはずですよ。
What's going on in top lane? I don't understand. This is supposed to be the moment for Kiai. I was like, let's go.
僕が勝率見た時はいつもそれぐらいになってるんですけど、
Such a good tournament, but I mean, we
なん
keep
か
on
プロ
talking
シーンだ
about
と
the fact
違
that
うら
this
しい。
is a rematch. These guys have played against each other before. Perhaps it's that Sparta he's figured them out. Perhaps.
参考にならんて。
Well,
Like,
yeah.
Sparta's
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
You said the you don't say it out loud.
You said the inner thought
まあ
out there.
単純にキャラクターの操作が難しいです。
Go for a dive in the mid lane. That is
アジールスレッシュワークか。
to pick up the
確
kill.
かに。
Nice bit of coordination. Another pod play from Team Wales.
Positive.
ビクターにへのダイブも成功と。ナイ
Look,
ス。
it's early.
It's a
I'm
triple
still
P is
working
いや
on
トッ
it.
プレーのジャックス。
A really nice play coming through from Team Wales again. And
いやジャックスディバイさんなら完成するまでずっと待って続けますよこれ。おいカサンとアイスも完成しましたから。
Just able to get the knockback a second time there
いや
as the stun comes through.
自分がスターされる時間をノックバックの相手をノックバックすることでお互いに CC を食らうと。
These are kind of the plays that you get to make with this triple threat essentially. Like the easy CC from Rel
そうですね、強さに幅が出ます。
Does
もっとやることが
play it series so
キ
far.
ャラの操作が簡単なチャンピオンはそこまで
Feathers go in, but won't be able to pull back
差
to the
は出
root.
ないんですけども、
Keeping
お
himself alive with
カイサにウルトとクレンズ使わせましたよ。
Flash
レオナ
still
ナイス
available,
仕掛
but
け。
I mean, where are you gonna flash to
生
there?
田さんフラッ
Glory
シュ。
and
あ
BJ
いや
linking up and finding advantages.
And Sparta now going to be able to get plates on this, at least
よくない
I'd say on this top side. Riptown now moved into
Leona
the
nice.
mid lane, means to get plates there. And the only place that is
ミッドレーン割れます。
falling massive far behind is in this bot lane. But
苦しい、
you see
とても。
they're very firmly favored Team Wells as they're going to pick up their second
そして
dragon.
ミッドにヘラルドを出してる間に TW がドローンを触っていく。
Lose game one to give teams false hope and come alive in game number two.
Yeah, I was going to start making puns about GAM being sharks after that
ちょっと
first
厳
game,
しい
but it is
今の
more
ミッ
like
ドレーンの
sharks
デス
at this
大きすぎる。
point. 7-1 on the scoreboard, 3,000 gold lead. They've already got the 2 Drakes for, in fact, 4,000 gold lead. I can't even count. 2 Drakes back to back now. They got the first Herald, looking towards
ヘ
the
ラルド
second
でタ
one.
ワープレートも獲得し、ミッドレーンのタワーも破壊。
It's been absolutely spectacular. And this is exactly what I was
破
hoping to see
壊
from Team Wells
半分
with
ぐらい。
how they built up people's hopes over the course of this play-ins. Because as you say,
体力
down and
削り
almost every step of the way.
そ
Now
して
going up
ビ
against
ク
the
ターのファームも
rematch
妨
of the
害
team
し
defeated
ドラゴンも
the
取って
finals
いく。
3-1. They're looking spectacular.
いや
Let's
厳
see
し
if Team
い
Wells can try and keep this one
と
up.
ても
I love again the fact that we're getting big, working with BJ and playing off of this mid lane.
とても
Because I think
厳しい
this is how you should try to play around Atalia. Get the CC, set things up. You can even see here again, the second caddy is in lane. So are B and BJ.
お
That's gonna be a
いいダメージ出ますよ。
Artemis. He can walk
ビ
away
クターウル
via
トで
fight
カイ
space.
サを追い払う。
AD carry there. Catty just desperate to crash this wave in and will get a bit of help from Pallet to do so.
1対2でも敵にプレッシャーをかけていきます
What the strategy meeting coming into game number 2 was for Team Wales when they all huddled up in the pod. Because as far as I can tell, it's like, BJ Glory work together, shut down
リリシ
Catty
ンがレオナ
so
と
he
一緒
can't
に
be this
敵のジャングルに入っていきますが
Artemis
取
and
ったのは
Bia
ビエゴ
just
と
kind of hang in there. Sparta just slaughter Kiaya. Just absolutely annihilate
あと
1v1.
トレインジャックスがまだまだジャックショー出ませんから
Speak in like whale analogies.
しばらくはカサンテがずっと有利と
And like I don't know if people know, but like whales will just hate orcas and will go out of their way to like save seals that orcas are chasing and just attack
お互いに
the
見えま
orcas.
したね
Yeah,
今
they like have a personal vendetta
そして
against
ワードを壊す
orcas.
ことに成
So
功
I love the idea that like that's the analogy that goes through. It's like, what are we? Whales.
あ
What
これ
are they? Orcas. Who are we gonna
これ
save?
相手も
The
縮んで
seals.
ます
It's
よ
like,
ツァ
it's
ヤがどこにもいないぞと
It works out beautifully.
I've got to be honest.
いや
when you,
ツァヤ
said
がボッ
about,
トレーンで彼
Wales
を
talking
倒
in
し
the
に行
team
ってい
chat,
た
I
の
thought
で
you were gonna go into whale song for a second there.
ミッド
I
レーン
was
が
very much doing it myself,
ミッ
but
ド
I'm
レーン
not
守
sure
れ
if
る
you
人がい
did.
ませんでした
I mean, look, I'm sure your
破
whale
壊され
song
て
is
し
as
まいました
amazing
よ
as your karaoke is, but we'll save them from that as our Mascar Lane Economy Snapshot is going to save us from going down this rabbit hole with Sparta again looking fantastic in this top side. 3 kills, plates galore from as well. 2 dragons across the Team Wales. I think this is now where I'm going to, it's a case of how the hell do GAM try and slow down the pace of this game? Because they still have a Victor, they still have the Zaya who will come on in the later portion, but it feels like you need to try and find those same picks that broke open the game last time. See if you can find BJ when he's playing away from his team. Even moments like this where Artemis is kind of separated solo, killing the dragon or the Rift Child may give you an opportunity. Because I will say this is a bit of a weird
CW が
timing which
とても順調です
Yes, this
カイサが一人でヘラルドやりましたね
solo the Rift Herald, but that's the world we're living in. As Artemis grabs that one for himself. And as you rightly say, game number 1, our snapshot looked reasonably similar to this, but then it came down to the way that they were moving on the map. GAM finding these individual picks on
こ
Bia,
の
on
アンブラルグレーブの
BJ,
ビル
and
ド
then
は
like kind of snowballing off
値
the
段
back
が
of
安くて
finding
コアアイ
teams
テムの
that
完成が早いですね
had so
そして
much
中
solo tower
中
gold
の
from
物
those
理ダメー
side
ジ
lanes.
なので
Syndra, this time around,
驚異の
I don't think
パワー
we'll
で
be able to have that same
やら
presence
かい
in the lane,
対象
that
に
same
ダメージが出やすいと
The fact he's 0-2 as well is not the best.
現時点のアンブラルグレーブは少しなくされてはいるんですけどまだ十分強いいや僕はアイテム削除を求めますサポートアイテムのワードが意味がなくなる
Pallet going to be the target as BJ dives in, forcing the flash, but it's BJ's flash in trade for him.
And Sparta going to move back down to the bot side to respond to Kiaya, who thought maybe he'd get some alone time with this turret, but not going to be able to do so.
ディバインさんなら完遂したのでジャックスはカサンテに対抗できると思います。勝てるかは分かりませんけれども、完成前よりはかなり戦えるはず。 そうですね、その3体グブ、セナ、カイサがアンポラルを好んで買いますね。ビエゴにちょっかいを出したビクター、逆に体力を削られていく。カリアさん死んだのでは。あいやー、レオナのイグナイトとビクターの仮面ですね。仮面のダメージだと思います。
calculated right as we were saying, hey, this guy needs to kind of step up his game. He
勝ちの
massively
勝
does
ち。
so, and Glory way overextended on that one.
ダムのミッドレーナーの名前勝ちです。
Doesn't happen. This is a great pick here. So stun land.
リーシンドの
flip back for
ま
Glory,
たでした。
easy to like, combo. But at this stage, it's like right, let's just take terror. Like let's try and use the advantages that we have. But they end up trying to overextend here as BJ gets a nice play onto Catty as he comes in over the wall and gets good damage. But again, you can just call quits at this stage. You don't need to overchase.
チロを取りに行ったんですけども、
The ult comes down, doesn't get the flick back.
いや、ビクターのウルトには一瞬サイレンスがありますね。
The thing I didn't know I needed
この一瞬のサイレンスが結構頭を混乱させてきますよ。そうか、ファーストストライクか、ビクター。
Why is he gonna catch Trace like that?
Brutal. Yeah, a lot of damage coming out. It's not an interaction you see often, is it? The
ファーストストライクは 13.20 でちょっとナーフされたけども、他のルーンのナーフに比べたらかなりマシなので、一瞬のサイレンスで操作が狂わされますから。 そしてドラゴンを取った TW、ビクターを刈り取り、ジャックスも倒す予定です。これ逃げられん。フラッシュあるけど、ブラストコーンで逃げられるか。あ、ここまでか。ドラストコーンで逃げるところをカサンテが止めたんですけども、ジャックスの Q は非常にクールダウンが短くてですね、無事に逃げることに成功と。ビクター来た。ビクターのウルト強いですよ。ファーストストライク、仮面。いや、ビクター一人で4人を追い払いました。これ逆にミッドタワーを殴りに行けますよ。ジャックスの体力が心配だけれども、カリアのウルトでミッドを守りに行きました。
to get the gravity well to keep GAM and our Team Wales in check, but unable to do so with the amount of escapes that Team Wales have. So just ends up burning the TP. Not really going to be able to pick up too much on the map. Maybe they'll get top terror, but just it's a nice pick for Team Wales to get Dragon. But immediately they see their opportunity here to turn onto Pallet, who
レオナを捕まえますね。ドラゴンさかなりきついです。3-0ですからドラゴン。リーシン、チップした相手に血を外してしまった。クルーグに血が当たったので食べていきます。むしゃり。リーシンの RQ は結構黒でもミスしているのを見ます。
Cassante with Chemtech, he's like the best in the game at using that soul for himself. Team Wales setting up for a potential Baron right here. So they've got vision of the area, not going to just pull the trigger just yet.
I think they need to wait a little bit of time. You can see where Glory's position on the map doesn't have Reaver's Wall, doesn't have TP, so he wants to try and create pressure on this bottom side before he comes into these fights. So just getting the vision control down in case they do want to try and later on. To burn down the Baron, but realistically, I think they just need to try and play it side lanes before they over-aggress and just wait for their fourth dragon.
集団戦で活躍するのは簡単ではないですよ、レイシンね。カリアが TP してジャックスを倒しに来ました。レルもいます。ギーゴもいる。これは逃げられるんですか、これ。はいよ。いや、これよくないですよ。ミッドタワーがフリーで割られます。
what Team Wells want to try and achieve here. They're in a bit of a weird spot.
でタリアのウルトでうまく囲みましたけれども、ザヤがフラッシュ。おカイサがリーシを仕留めに行くけれども、キックで離脱していく。ビクターフラッシュ R しましたけれども、逃げ場なし。エルに捕まってます。待ってくれ。サポートとミッドを倒しました。これバロンスありますね。サポートがいないと視界を取りに行けないということで、リーシンもバロンを潰してボットレンプッシュしてます。ボットの弾を削りに行きますか。リーシンが選択したならいけないかな。
I mean, for this, Glory overextend. Well, sorry, this was a good setup. It's just that the team wasn't in place to try and follow up quick enough before the wall goes down. And at that stage, then you got Paladin getting caught out on the top side. Artemis is trying to escape as Kati flashes for it to try and finish
戦闘を拒否したんですけど、ビクターがフラッシュインして、その後も逃げ道がないですね。さらばです。
Team Wells putting their foot down in a position where they were just so incredibly strong.
いやー、ドラゴン4回目は待ちますよ。まずい。いや、危ない。ディエゴリーシにキックされるのを読んで、すかさず W で体の位置を変更しましたよ。
Both of them now deathless in game 2. Feels like the coaching staff had a serious word with those two players. As Sparta zoning the enemy's
いや、これはスティールできないですね。4ドラゴンです。キムティックソウル。4ドラゴンですけど、この狭い場所でビクターが強いぞ。ビクターが強い一度倒しチェイする。キムティックソウルタワー。あいやー。
It's an ace for the side of Team Wales. It's a soul for the side of Team Wales, and it
これ
might
ネ
just be
クサス破壊はできません。
back from the Talia gets the double stun onto Kiaya and Pallet and then sets up that fight. Team
できませんけれども、ちょっとここから逆転は簡単ではないですよ。
This has been a significantly more confident play from Team Wales, and for the opportunity to now represent the VCS going into the main stage. Both these teams dying to get their hands on that spot.
They certainly are. And Cam proving
この狭い場所でビクターがかなり戦いやすくはあったんですけども、ケミティックソウルパワーでいや、レルの素晴らしいエンゲージですよ。これザヤにクレンズを使わせ最大限の仕事をしました。いやー、ちょっともうゴールド差もすごいし。
I love BJ holding the ultimate there as well. Wanted to get some feathers out first, wanted to get value.
ゴールド差なければなければ悪くなさそうだったんですけども。
Same amount of items for BJ. I feel like he probably does similar damage to what Slater's able to at this point in the game.
It's also, don't forget, a lot of people, the W on Xayah gives you movement speed towards people. So the longer you can stay in the Xayah, the quicker you're going to be able to chase down Caddy. So nicely done by BJ to just make sure.
カイサは W 進化のためにナッシャートを使ってます。
Now in a position where he wants to try and crash down on GAM inside their own base, as it's Kiaya on the split push, but
それぞれ好みがありますな。
put off everyone from this top tower.
Nice wall
全
here
員かっ
just
こいい
to
ですよ。
secure the objective. Kiaya trying to get some bounty gold there on the top side of the map, but I'm not sure.
でもやっぱり ADC はかっこいいでした。黒の ADC クリック開始が多くてすごいですよ。何クリックしたら指が壊れてしまう。
Yeah, I think it's more a case of if they can get the pick. Yeah, that's where I'm like, if you can find Pallet or find opportunity. This tower is very low, but the wave clear is pretty substantial from Slater and Kati, so they're just going to back away. So you still get an inhibitor for the tier 2 tower, which you're going to be pretty happy with, because realistically, there's not going to be much chance for the Jacks to try and continue pushing on towards that inhibitor turret on the bottom side. You reset, back out of the map, spend your gold. You still 2 minutes before Baron, so maybe you can get away. At least establish vision. Oh, well, I was going to say they already have a lot of vision control on that top side. re-establish control over that and then lean back in towards Baron. And if you're
スカイスコア
Cat years
全然
later
違い
trying
ま
to
すよ
move through these choke points to get into River, like Bay's going to be happy,
ま
Glory
あ
will
勝
kick back.
勝
We've
って
already
るチー
seen
ム
these
なので
fights happen
当然ではあるんで
before,
すけ
and
れ
it's
ども
gone so heavily in favor of Team Wales.
Minute and a half until Baron comes back onto the map.
Huh?
BJ actually ults out on this one, but Pallet's gone
まあ
too
しょうが
deep.
ないですこれ
Stunned
は
up. The
何
reset
か
of
するしかない
BJ as well as Artemis. Doesn't have a lot of mana to fly in with, but he does have a blue buff. W's flying in at this
重
point.
ねてフラッシュ中を決めていく
Pulls the enemy
リー
jungler
シンストップウォ
back
ッチ
into
で
the
す
phrase.
タワーを
BJ
破壊し
going further in on
安全に
this
リー
one.
シンを
It's another
倒しました
pick. A Sparta, the absolute man of the hour for Team Wales right here. Decimating the laning phase and finding these moments in the late game.
And now finding a second inhibitor for Team Wales.
Yeah.
BJ started on the bot one, but said, what are we
こ
doing?
こで終わりか
This is the end. This is going to be a Team Wales victory.
の出ワードか
Finish
ら
it off
踏ん
now.
だし
First
た
Nexus turret
でも
low.
ここまで
Catty
入
on
る
the
と
Victor,
厳しいね
Slater on the
ちょっ
Zaya.
と
They've
厳しい
got
で
to
す
make magic happen to stay in this one.
はいよ
It's a good stun from Kiaya, but a stun is all they will find.
ね
Pallet goes down. The Nexus will fall. And Team Wales, they show us why they were the second seed out from the VCS. And more importantly, why they were the first seed
いいでしょう
coming into
2
this
試合目
match.
勝利したのは
It's
GW です
very, very similar to what we saw in the VCS finals.
Right,
Though. Game
GG.
1 going
1対
across
1
to, or sorry, game 2 going across to Team Wales
力の差
after they just lost the first game to
ないか
GAM.
じゃ
So
ないか
this is where I want to see
演
if
奏は可
Team
能性ありま
Wales
す
can rewrite that story here today, or
リー
whether
シ
it's
ン取
going
っ
to be
た
the
方が
bounce
負け
back
る
now from GAM coming into game 2.
簡単なゲーム
Game 3. Phenomenal performance though from Team Wales. Kind of
さやか
early
魔を
stages
変えるファースト
being
ピックされてます
defined by BJ and BA working together
でも
towards
魔を
glory.
変えは
So
バ
I
ンさ
think
れ
as
てる
long as he can keep himself in check, it's going to be all
さや
good.
取ります
We'll have to see exactly what the game plan is
ア
going
フ
to
ェ
be
リオ
though,
ス
because again,
本当に
Zaya rotation still going through with the Rakan still being banned
こ
away.
こに来て
So imagine it will still be something like the Kaisa, and then
まさ
the
か
question mark is if they want to go towards the Rel
まあ
again.
ラカンがいないのでレルを取るという
That
こと
last
ですか
rotation. Looks like if it ain't broke,
その
maybe
キャ
don't
ラ
fix
と
it.
先生の一番パッ
Yeah,
シブ
I
が
mean,
強
Team
す
Wales,
ぎるチャ
they
ンピオ
were
ン
on the
は誰
red
です
side
か
previously.
一番パッシブが強すぎるチャンピオンサイオンです当然
Rel for
ピ
Beer.
ックに通っててつ
Certainly
ま
feels
らん
like
な
a strong rotation, and there we go. The Jarvan as well, taken up by BJ.
サイオンが最強のパッション棒を持ったチャンピオン
You banned the Viego. If you want that
ディ
list,
スしてもファームできる
I'm gonna play
ディスした後10秒ぐらい生き残れる
in that early game.
Yeah, now it is kind of a question mark for me. Is like,
強すぎる
how do you want to try and
OP
play this? Because what we've seen from a lot of teams, particularly like
ジャーバン取りました
VCS
先に
is
あの
this
デスタイマ
Nico
ーと
Jarvan
一緒
combo.
に消えたチャンピ
That
オ
has been
ンか
banned away on
そうですデス
the
タイマーの
next
変更で
rotation
サイオンは
pretty
弱体
consistently
出しま
by
した
GAM, as it looks like
でも
they're
ア
both
クデキ
forced
が
back,
弱
but
体化して
I
お
think
らず
there is
他
an
の分が
opportunity
弱く
for
なった
Team
の
Wales
で
to say, hey,
悪
look,
くない
we can maybe sack bot lane. We'll expect a Kaisa ban. Maybe we can actually go back towards
や
one
っ
of the
ぱ
lane
り
bullies that I think
強
are
いチャン
actually
ピオン
quite
キッ
strong,
ク
like
するというのが
the
このゲームで
Lucians
の
and that kind of stuff. If they want to try and go
簡
towards
単
it,
に
but
勝つ方法であ
maybe
ると
still getting this Nico for glory
ジ
is
ャーバン
worth
に
it.
対
We'll
し
just
て
have to see
ジャック
if
ス
they
リー
have
シ
that thought process
本
of
当に
like,
リーシ
no,
ですか
Kai's just too strong. We need to keep our control over bot.
行くいやノーチラスにしました
Actually gonna go for the Nautilus in the end.
ジャックス先出し
We'll see what the priority is for Wales here, because on the one hand, obviously Kaisa
ジアにそっくりですとゼイザルさんですか
at this point, but yeah,
あ
strong
の C
solo
ライン
lane
のサポート
mid
ゼイ
lane
ザ
for
ルさんで
glory,
した
or also getting a good matchup for Sparta in the top side against Levi's Levi against Kiaya's Jax. Sorry, it is gonna be
レースしてゼを取られたので
You
カ
can
イ
see
サ
the thought process was there. Maybe we just go for the mid laner instead, but not going to be the case. They're like, look, Kaisa needs to be able to battle against
似てました
Zaya in the
確か
early
に
stages. We'll have to see if we can actually find that control here, because I thought we'd actually get the Alistair, honestly, for Palace. I think it works super well
ビ
against
ッ
the
グ
Rel
ジャングル
also.
に
Gives the
対する
opportunity
バンを
to
したいです
kind
が
of keep Jarvan out of the fight in a lot of
ね
different
ちょっと出てくるチャンピオンが固まってきましたね
Set off
かなり
towards the, hey, we want the point and click CC for the expected Kaisa coming through. Removal ban's going to be the big
もうちょっといろいろ見たい
knock away
気
here,
持ちはありますね
though. Nocturne gone.
ドクターンバン
Maybe the Sejuani here again for Levi to just get rid of more of that.
リリシンはバンする
And
価
then the
値ある
question
のか
is, do we
本
just
当に
get the return
怪しい
to
ぞ
the Lee Sin? Because that kind of seems to be the next tier down when we get to junglers.
I will say,
Toppy
Lee
down.
Sin across playoffs so far 7-1.
まあ
And
ジャッ
the
ク
seven
ス相
is
手に
the
ポッピー出されるのが
loss.
ちょっと
It's
嫌
only
か
one
ノ
win
ーチラスに
for
も
Lee
刺
Sin.
さり
Already
ます
lost
し
twice in this series to buff up that statistic. If I'm either of these teams right now, with the way that it's looked across this series, I mean, I don't think Lee Sin was
ルーコ
inherently
ン
the
バン
problem,
これ
but
も
I
ま
don't
たター
think
ゲッ
it's
トバ
worth
ン
it either.
I'm not
ガ
gonna
ムの
lie.
リヴァイしかこの大会を使っている人はいません。
I would be like, you know what, Levi, Poppy? Maybe he's actually a good go-to here. You know, stop the Jarvan, the Rel, the Kai'Sa, like a lot of those opportunities, but instead they're actually going to ban away themselves, not wanting Sparta to get to the top side. Is a good
あ
matchup
あ、
into
グルー
the
プステ
Jax,
ージ
so
に
it
行けば
does
リ
make
ー
a
シン
little
が
bit
も
of
っと
sense, but
活躍
now
し
I
ま
am
すか？
curious if Sparta just decides to opt back
リーシン
in towards
使うの
things
難
like
しいでしょうから
Obviously, Jax does have the outscaling, but at least will allow Sparta to neutralize some of the
なるほどね。
early pressure and to even
確か
play
に
in
それは
towards
ある
that.
かも。
Aatrox kind of fitting that description as well, but yeah, we'll go
お
towards
い、
that
ジャ
next.
ックスに対してレネクトンを出す。これもちょっとレネクトンを出すときにジャックスをバンするんですけれども、当ててきました。自信があるんでしょう。
38% win rate. He has had a hard year on the Renekton. It's not necessarily been his best pick. We'll see if he can kind of shirk those
さっき
expectations
も
because
ジャックス
I
に
mean
対して
across
カ
this
サンテを
tournament
出
so
して
far, Sparta
カ
has
サンテ側
absolutely
が
stepped up above what we were expecting. And
大勝利
now
してましたから。
changing things up and go
そ
for
して
Jace in the mid lane.
Okay,
Chase
I actually
Sejuani.
wasn't sure if they're going to go for the Ivern in the jungle there to try and match that, but
強
instead
い
they're
です。
just going to go back towards the Sejuani. So you kind of get some mixed damage coming out from the Sejuani and the Jax enough to
ガ
try and
ム
make up for
は
AP
ちょっ
damage.
と
Won't
物
be
理ダ
as
メージ
difficult,
が
but still nice
多い
here
んで
from
すけれ
GAM.
ど
You're
も
going to have a ton of opportunities to try and play
俺
for
それ
damage on this top side of the map. And I'll have to say,
俺
like,
それ
I don't
本
think
当にや
Jace
れるの
can really
か？
stand up to Jace.
ガン
I'm
ク体
surprised
制
to see
ない
this
ぞ。
locked in, even though it's over.
さすがに
We'll have to
Yeah.
say. We'll wait for the lock in. There it is. It's going to be the I nearly called her Rel then. It's going to be the Tilly in the mid lane for Glory to try and get
AD
roam
多い
and
で
try
す
and
ね、
get
ガ
out
ム。
on this map. A
魔
different
法ダ
look
メージ
here
ほとんどないです。
for Wales and what they're bringing to the table, but I'm excited to see.
GW はカイサ、カリア、レル。これが魔
Very
法
much
ダメージ、
changing
物
the
理ダメージ。
conversation from the victor that was played last game.
I mean, this is
レネクト
definitely
ジャ
a
ーバーも
more
いる。
aggressive
ダ
take.
メージ
trying
バ
to
ランス的には
keep the
GW がとて
I
も
think this is where you can have some opportunities, especially with the
良さそうに見えますよ。
engage from the Nautilus to try and get a knock up onto, say, Artemis, and then you follow up with the accelerate shock blast. You've got great ability to even use those acceleration gates to speed up the team to follow up
い
on
や、
engages.
その
But
セ
it
ジャー
definitely
に
means that for
強い
GAM,
ですよ。
you need to try and play through this
ミッ
mid
ドト
jungle
ップ、ボット、
particularly hard.
全部のレーン
Again,
に
you've got
メ
a
レーチャンピオン
very,
がいる。
very strong team fight combo coming in on Team Wales.
スタン
And
発
it
動
feels
さ
like
せ
if
や
you
すい
don't
で
get
す
control
な。
in the early stages, Immobile Jace, Immobile Zaya against what is a very aggressive Jarvan that can cover a lot of distance is going to make it kind of tough for you to play that long-range poke style.
Now I was just perusing a few statistics here, Dagda, and you know, Catty, we've not seen him playing the Jace here at the World Championship just yet. However, across summer,
今回は
7 times.
リーシーは出てきま
And,
せん。
he's yet to lose a game
あの
on
弱
the
いチャ
Jace
ンピオン
this。summer. He's been
キックをやめ
looking
ました。
fantastic. 4KDA, 100% win rate, 7 and 0 on the Jace domestically. And you know, usually the question is, you know, you've done that domestically, can you do it internationally? This is a domestic match. He is essentially still playing domestically on this Jace, so we'll see what he can do. Catty being very much a shining light for his team across this series. Let's see if GAM can get back on the horse.
始まります。
The domestic
レ
growth
ズかっ
match
こいいな。
coming in hot for both these sides. We'll have to see
レ
if,
ズのスキ
as
ー
you
かっ
say,
こいい
GAM
ぞ。
can try and bounce back after that last
そ
loss.
してセジャーニは当然プロライダーセジャーニ。
Continue what has been kind of the story
一
of
番
the
可愛い
times
チャンピオンで
these
す。
teams faced off the best of 5, where 3-1 over towards GAM.
僕、レルがトップレーナーになったら使えますね。
Beast coming in towards play. It's been fantastic to see the growth that we've got. Even
僕はトップにしか行かないので。
BJ and BA has been fantastic in the last game, and I really hope that they get to continue that play forward coming into this.
See if they can keep that rolling. Team Wales as well, looking to build a reputation. This is their first international tournament as an organization.
カイサはリーサルテンポですね。
From the sort of collapse
相手
of
にタンクが多いときはヘルブレードのアンブラルビルドは行きにくいと思います。
dispersing among other teams, you know, Team Secret getting a lot stronger from that as well, but Team Wales getting BJ and
そして
becoming
ジェイスは
a
ファースト
much
ストライ
stronger
ク。
unit because of it. But so far,
岡田を
slower
稼ぎ
early
たい
game
そう
here,
です。
no early vision on either side.
I was going to say, even the fact that Team Wales are in this
ダメージも出るんですよ、ファーストストライクジェイスは。ダンク耐性は低くなるんですけれども、その分ダメージとスケールを
It was not an easy road. They had
重要視している
two
そうで。
best of 5 series that went the full distance, and then unfortunately losing out in the finals in that 4-game series. Like, it has been a lot of games for this squad.
いや、カリア
And
の
now performing
ウェーブクリ
massively,
ア、
stepping
な
up
かな
on
か
this
強いですよ
international。stage. We'll have to see which one of these teams is going to represent the
そしてジャック
BCS
ス対レ
in
ネ
the
クトン。
main stage of Worlds.
レベル3からレネクトンが頑張れますか？
This has got to be such a proud moment. There's been so long where even like for guys like Artemis, right, 2021, he kind of denied his opportunity to play an international stage because of COVID. They've had so many issues getting to an international stage, and now they are guaranteeing themselves once more to play with the big boys and see if maybe they can have that upset like we saw against Top Esports. You know, just throw a little bit of curveball into the mix there.
And the thing is, that was that was in the group stage previously. We don't have a group stage anymore.
Yeah.
It's switched now. So
おノーチャスフラッシー。ベルがボディブロックしていきますけども、いいダメージが入りますよ。
taking a huge chunk there, not quite respecting the level 2 that was hitting Pallet, flashing forwards to punish.
ノーチャスのフラッシュ。
Before the level 2 came through from Pallet, so nicely done there to just make sure he could actually get a little bit of a little bit of control over this lane. Set B behind, he'll
相手のフラッシュを取れたわけではないので、
and even though BJ, he's
ノーチャスのフラッシュがないという情報がシャーバに言ってます。
He's worried that Levi is down here trying to go for the dive. It's not going to happen. And
can he sneak past him?
I mean, the thing is, there's so many minions.
これ、
Like,
ウェーブ
Artemis will miss
処
out
理する
on
まで
a lot
待
of
ちます
gold.
か。
If they don't get a kill off of this gank, it could be disastrous.
まあ
For
ノーチャス
Wales, they're going to get the
の
knock
フラッシュですから。
He already used his flash, but Beer's just going to go down anyway.
ちょっと話で違うんですけど。
Can't quite find the second one. Artemis
よ
trading
し。
here. Slater and Artemis.
1-1とエド。悪くないです。ノーチャスのキルとカイサのキル。
Barely able to escape away from that one. Great turnaround from GAM. And again,
メルポさんどうもこんにちはです。
Does have his flash available.
フラッシュオンラインのチラスを倒しに行ったんですけども。
back away, but again, really nice play on the bot side. As you said, Artemis, you can see the CS. This is out on all the
返り討ちに遭い、ベルが死亡。
And the fact went as
でもカイサにキルが入ったのと、ノーチャスにキルが入ったので、カイサ側がワースであると。
only cleared out that red on the top side, so he has to go back up to the
でも
top
ちょ
end
っ
of the
と
map.
これ、タワー下のミニオンを捨ててのアクションでしたから、カイサの CS が
honestly for Team Wales. And to be honest,
ちょっ
both
と
games
取れてないです
previously
よ。
have been looking good for Wales to start the game
これ
off,
だいぶ
but this time not so much. Artemis has some available. Flash cleanse, both used, and
お
he'll
ー、
still
や
go
り
down.
きれました。
Slater's
ザヤのフラッ
to
シュ。
flash out. Now a TP
こ
coming
れ、
through as well.
ザヤがタンクしたの
Keep
か。
them in the play as
ちょっと
Glory arrives
タ
on
ワーの
scene,
タンク
looking
が
for the stun to
う
set
ま
up
くいかなかった
for the
か。
flick back here. Glory getting some damage down. He's waiting for them to get over the wall. Doesn't want to use
セ
his
ジャニ
flick
さん。
until Levi has already used the gap close and it secures
彼に
the
1
kill.
キル。
BJ chasing for
こ
more,
こまでか。
but it's at least a second for Wales.
でもミッドレーンジェイスが押し込めてますよ。彼が1ウェーブ失います。
No
No flash to
available
Zaya.
here, but he's got the movement speed. That's a shattering strike. BJ should be able to
逃
finish
げ
this
られるの
one.
これ。
Available for him. There's the knockup. And Glory getting both.
サイドステップうまかったですけれども、これはさすがに逃げられず。そしてウェーブを押し込んでリコールしたとジェイスがボットのカバーに行きます。
burning Artemis's opportunity to pick up all that CS in the bot lane, and as long as you back away that stage, you're in good shape. But
ジャックスというチャンピオンまだも辛いですよ。
another kill going across specifically to Artemis.
定期的にディレクトにパンチを入れていく。
in that bot lane, and now it'll help massively for Team Wales to even up that goal difference.
Glory as well get 2 kills. Really
ここのダイブもう一回。いや、これは最初のガンクか。
BJ just pretty much gets to walk in. Oh, this is the first play, in fact.
いや、ザヤの羽が入ってしまい、ベル死亡。
So much extra gold value from your stats on those plays.
ここのダイブは、ノーチャスがちょっとタワーのダメージが早すぎないか。ちょっとまだタワーを受けられましたけれども、かなり早い段階でタワーの外に出たことでザヤのフラッシュがなくなりました。そしてフラッシュがないザヤ、ここで死亡。ちょっとこれは大きいんじゃないのか。
Flag and drag knocks it up. Glory with the flick back off the back of it. Perfect combo. And I have to say, that trio of champions, Jarvan, Rel with the Talia, it's impossible to get away from Sparta. He's gone to Kiaya. Not again. Surely not again. Forces the Sparta. He owns this top lane
誰かトップレーン助けてくれ。トップレーン今からダイブされます。助けて、セジュアに助けて。誰か
this one through. Sparta wanted the solo kill.
やめて
BJ, he'll get an assist on this one, but it is all Sparta all day long, Dagda.
This is so messy from Kiaya. Tries to stay underneath the tower, but Sparta is so strong. Even the level up coming through isn't enough to save him. Will get the
トップ
play.
レーンとんでもないですよこれは。キャノンウェーブを失いタワープレートを取られました。
Gore Drinker is going to be well underway now. I think they would have liked to give that kill to Sparta. May actually just be shy of the Gore Drinker. Yeah, it looks like he
悲
is.
しいです。
But even then, this is a big win for the Croc on the top side. That 31% win rate looking a little bit better this time around.
Yeah, he's looking
ジ
to
ャックス
remedy
とか
that.
いうチャンピオン、
I feel like that's
通
a
常
great
攻
allegory
撃で
for
シ
this
ストレ
tournament
に
in
行かないとい
general.
けないから
Sparta was a player that didn't
ダ
come
メ
in
ージ
with
取れるの
massive,
勝てないといけない
expectations. Kiaya, the
ダメ
opposite
取
side
れ
of that story.
しながら
But here today, we're seeing
シ
this
ストレに行かないといけないから
slow build for Team Wales.
ちょっとでも
It's the
ミス
story
す
of
る
each
ともう
individual series, but
ミ
it's
ニオンに
also the
触れなく
story
なっ
of
て
their
しまう
grander tournament.
難しいチャンピオン
I
です
need
よ
to see if Team Wells though can try and keep this pressure up. Because on bot side, it
ジェイ
was
ソ
very,
ーレ
very
ネクト
difficult
の
to
対
try
面
and
に
make
送り
the
ま
same
した
place we got in the last game. We were like, oh, let's try and rotate BA around the map.
そしてジャックスはボ
Because
ッ
we
ト
just
と
don't have the control that we want around our bot side. That's why when you even look at it, it's first push, first Slater and Pallet on the bot lane. So they rotate up to Rift Herald, and Team Wells aren't even going to try and contest
そ
this.
して
Which I
先
think
に
is the right call. But it has to be a case of, okay, now let's try
ゲイ
and
ヘラルドを
continue
触
Sparta,
って
which
い
is
る
a
の
very
が
different look for them.
イ
But
カ
try
ム
to
です
see
ね
if we can put Kiaya behind, get some turret plates, and then have this Croc be an absolute menace when we hit that mid-game point, especially if we can start to contest for, say, second Dragon.
そしてジャックスが敵のボットレーナー2人と対面するとまあもうこのジャックス誰と対面しても勝てないでしょうから一番苦しい場所に行ってもらおうどうせ誰と対面しても勝てません
They've got some positives to talk about. Take a good old chunk there.
いやースターショック組の
I think they're in a position where they can dive the Jacks, but
こ
then
の
again,
レルのちょっとしたダイブでジャックスの体力が半分に
in the meantime, Sparta going to try and clear the way with the top side.
Jack
CC
Sun.
chain is there. I mean, it's a move. And it's another kill. Bean
ジャックスをいじめるな
is now Sparta.
これは
Use that dominance.
だいぶ仕返したいですよレネクト相手にちょっと難しそうですけどやれるのかこれ
CC chain comes on and he needs the sustain and he gets
い
it.
やー倒しきれずおーフラッシュ使ってやりきりましたねナイス
Slater tries to, or actually gets the kill, but for Sparta,
Yeah.
he needed to just back away.
CW のダイブは何も失ってないのにガムのダイブはザヤのフラッシュが失われました
Now you're getting those turret plates for Slater on that top side. He's just a GAM coming out again on top thanks to that Rift Herald.
なんとダイブのたびにジャングルとサポートはフラッシュを温存して代わりに ADC がフラッシュ切らないといけないのはちょっと悲しいですよ ADC 視点一番価値の高いフラッシュが失われてるんですけれども
Like Sparta, I actually would have preferred if he's kind of
こ
thinking
こ
a couple of steps ahead. Because yes, you can look to outplay this and maybe you can get a kill, right? Or you can turn something back. But realistically,
しょうがないで
you
すけれ
want
ども
that flash for the next team fight that we're talking about at Dragon. If you can have your TP up and available, which will be in just a minute's time for that, and you've got the flash, suddenly you can flash onto Caddy, you can flash onto Slater, you can have a lot more threat in these fights. But not
そうそう
having
ドラ
that
ゴン
is
で
going to
す
make it significantly easier now for Slater to play out these engages, especially
ジ
with
ャ
the
ックス
claim.
がかなり苦しんでますねまだディバインさんなら全然完成しませんエレクトもゴードリンターは完成せずちょっと内容が濃いのでまだ10分40秒なのが驚いてます
And you know, you can talk about the fact that Slater flashed as well, but ultimately
まだあと3トンのタワープレート残ると
Slater flashed to get the kill. That's not like I'm not sure we can give Sparta the credit for that flash. That was more Slater making that choice to go aggressive, get that kill. 15 seconds on that Drake that we've been talking about.
いやジャックス苦しんでます
Glory can punish
これぐらい
the AD carry as
ジャックスはいじめないといけませんから
Sparta starts to back away here because he should have his Gore Drinker. Very late reset though means that GAM will actually, as you see in mid lane with Glory reset, should be able to get control over River just ahead of this Dragon. They could actually burst it down now, knowing that there's no TPs on the solo laners, but I don't think they've actually copped that the solo laner has reset here for Glory. So little bit of a messy
ジェイ
one
ソ
here
ー
for
ダスクブレード
GAM.
完成してます
They don't have the vision to figure
もう
out
ミッ
that,
ドの
oh,
明治チャンピオンは全員ダイアンドリーですね
Nice thing for Wales as well is
ルーデン
Glory get
購
back
入
to
し
that
てる
mid
人は
lane,
誰もいま
but
せん
even if he's just sort of halfway up the lane, can
全
always
員
go
ダイアンド
over
リー
towards that Drake. Does mean you can't use the Weaver's Wall in the
そ
fight.
して視界も取れてて先にミッドボットを捨てるガムがまたドラゴンを取ると
But Drake started in the bottom side.
バトル開始します。ベロフォーカスしましたけれども、倒すのにかなり時間がかかってますよ。倒しきることができず、まずい。
Goddess of the hunt and wants those kills wants food on the table. His pallet dashes away two more for
サポートに全てを吐いたんですけども、アフターショックもあってレル倒しきれませんでした。そしてフリードラゴンに見えたんですけども、逆にシェイスとセジョニでやられてしまって敵にドラゴンが行ってしまいます。あやこれドラゴン単にやるだけではダメなのか、結果論ではあるんですけども、多分まあもちろん勝てると思ってファイトしてるでしょうから、あそこでチルも取ってドラゴンも取ってっていうことだと思うんですけれども、逆にミチル取られてドラゴンを渡すとレル硬すぎ。いやー、全てのスキルをレルに吐いたのだいて何も残ってません。
And let's talk about the evolution of BJ and Bia from game number 1 to now. Like that play where they're setting up Bia, managing to mostly avoid the CC, managing to survive, managing to get his whole combo off. BJ then Cataclysm in. Like that's what we want to see. Game number 1, they were both individually getting caught out. Didn't feel like they were on the same page. Maybe just needed a warm-up game to kind of wake up and get on the same page as a team, but it feels fantastic to watch.
いや、これは TW かなり有利になってしまいましたよ。かなり有利。チリでも勝ってるし、ドラゴン2つ目取られちゃうとガムがすごいいいなと思ったんですけれども、逆にチルも返してドラゴンを取り返しましたから、これは大きすぎる。ゴールド差、ボットレーンだけ勝ってると、上さんにはちょっと負けてると。これジャックスディバインさんなら完成しますか。完成したかな。完成した。これで戦える。ネクト相手にも戦える。タリオがトップに TD してヘラルド優先しましたね。ボットカはギブだそうです。ジェイスも TT はありますけれども、ジェジさん、あ、いや CC すごすぎる。本当に今のバッジ一つ CC 食らったらもう生きてられないな。タンクチャンピオンでも関係なし。
Realistically, that doesn't feel like enough. If BJ can get this Herald down in the mid lane, tier 1 bot for tier 1 mid is not an even trade.
Not even close, and I mean they may even get a kill on towards Kiai in the top side if he doesn't back away. Multiple members of Team Wells moving up, even the Reaver's wall to try and get in behind them.
This is going to be tough for Kiaya if they commit to the play. BJ in the area, but with the ward and Tribrush, they decide this ain't it. Pallet moving over, you see Catty moving over as well.
かなり有利です。
Crashes that way. They've won a fight. They've got a bit of gold.
ヘラルドも取り、セジャリも倒す。
Yeah, and I think it's going to be looking towards Dragon in just 2 minutes time, but for GAM, I mean,
これタニアのスタン、ジャワのいい中、レルの中。
very squishy when you've got
動けません、全く。
and the burst damage as well, so he's got to back it up and be a little bit more careful.
そしてこのヘラルドでミッドも破壊と。
to try and use it for the second Drake, but for themselves, well, third Drake, but instead just going to immediately try and toss this one down. And when you've got control over mid, and it looks like control over bot side as well, again, Kiai does need to be careful.
いや、ディバイさんならあるからジャックスも負けないぞ。
They're just trying to see if they can get all these outer turrets
このアイテ
out
ムできた瞬間、
and then use the minion waves and the push they have to keep
全
down
く状況が変わります。
Picking up that Drake and C. Levi, sorry, moving into the mid lane to make sure that they're pushing that wave as fast as possible, not losing control of the mid lane, and therefore the river following up. BJ just chasing Levi out of his jungle.
ちょっと映像は止まりましたけれども、
lose out in this matchup does feel like Kiaya starting to come online a little bit. Sparta went quite aggressive to Look for that tower.
いやー、今までとは変わってジャックスが1対1で主導権取れますよ。どうなってんですかこのアイテム。
For Team Wales, I think they're still in a great spot. In fact, you've got so much on the rest of your squad. Hang on.
Stun comes out. BJ the target here.
彼がフラッシュでかわして代わりにジャーマンがシェアリのウルトを受けましたけれども、ジャーマンが一応ジェイスの2で いや止めましたね。勝ちのジェイス、ジャーマンのブリンクを2ではたき落としました。ジャーマンのノーフラッシュと
just not quite getting the waves in check, not having that vision control down, and it's GAM.
いやちょっとゴールドグラフがすごいことになってますよ。有利不利がどんどん変わっております。一つのアクションで全く有利不利が入れ替わってますよ。これちょっとドラゴン CW の方が触れそうですよ。
Mana available. Kati does need to actually reset. You can see Glory's just going to be able to pick up this top side, but he'll be able to TP into the fight as well. So, and Levi having no ultimate because he just used it up top side means that GAM actually don't have the things they need available for this next fight. Even Palace not having ultimate. So this is where Team Wales will have an opportunity to just get themselves a second dragon without GAM being able to contest because they made that pick.
じゃあ TW 頑張ってます。ドラゴンの有利を取っていく。カイサナボリも完成してる。彼はよく反応しましたけれども、ジャーマンが
I mean, it works out perfect. Can't even get the knockback.
いや両方やられてしまいました。ノーチラスのナイスフックということで
This is kind of where people start to realize, oh wait, if we actually do commit all these ultimates in place to the top side, we just don't have the power when it comes to next fight. So even though we got the
ジェイスはまだブルも完成してる。
we might have better position.
カリアはこれは
and you've already got the
セラフを購入する
able to use everything they need to. You're just not going to have a good time as GAM.
Certainly not. Catty having a much better game as well. Although, to be fair, damage-wise, he was doing great in the previous game, but couldn't turn those fights. But now getting A, the shutdown onto Glory, but B, getting solo gold on that tower in the top lane as well. He's going to be feeling quite strong, and his Muramana is a singular ability away from stack to this point. There we go, that bonus damage, and it goes straight into the face of BJ.
ちょっとリプレイ見せてほしいな。今コントローラーが置いた瞬間に
coming through, but really nice to know.
あれでもワード
get the pick that they need again.
だったんだ
This is
今の
starting to feel like game one. Very good start from Team Wales. They get to the mid game and it's pick on
後でリ
BJ,
プレイ
pick
を
on to Glory,
見たいですね。
pick on to BJ. Like this is starting to become a pattern. It might be more actually as the Weaver's Wall is coming through.
They're actually committed to
お
this.
ジャーマンがやられているのに TP していく。 ちょっと人数差がありますよ。レネクトノーフラッシュ。
I mean, Team Wales opting into a 4v5.
いやちょっと体力削られました。これバロン バロンがまずいですよ。
I mean, this is literally what happened
一応ブルートリンゲットで敵がバロンの方に向かっているのは見えてますけれども。
They won't turn towards immediately trying to bait Team Wales in and they catch BJ.
いやー暗すぎる。確認できない。
Keeps himself alive for now.
ジャーマン入り中でなんとか離脱。
Separated to the top side. There we go.
ジャングルに入れま
Will
せん。
come on through. They can't commit to the Baron play.
Kiaya getting control over this bot side though, again starting to shove in. This is exactly what GAM need. It's buying time for Kiaya to eventually outscale Sparta when he does hit the second item, the Spear Shojin. Should be in a really, really good spot. Levi as well, now starting to build up even the Warmogs. He's going to have more of a health bar that's going to be for Team Wales to contend with. It's starting to get tough now for Team Wales, and the team fight and the opportunities that they had are starting to disappear.
これ
When you're just giving across picks like this, giving that tempo advantage to GAM,
そういうことか。
so they can set up plays, set up picks, get the tower down.
全員視界がそれだったんだな。
Because Team Wales had all committed towards the TPs and trying to save that
コントローラーのブッシュに置いた瞬間ノーチラスのフックが飛んできて、いきなりジェイスが左上から飛んできたと。
So, just a minor gold lead here. GAM 1,500 ahead at 21 minutes. 2 minutes until that Ocean Drake comes online, and that's really the sort of remaining advantage for the side of Wales.
ちょっとカイさんの立ち位置が強気ではありますけれども、
getting knocked up
ノ
to
ーチャ
try
ンスの
and
フッ
block
クを
for
かわしてい
Artemis.
きカレーがウルトで
Pallet, so they'll walk away.
味方を守りに行きますけれども
Kind of impressed that Pallet mine
ジャックスが没頭しているので
managed to
カリアも
like
守りに
everyone
行
in
き
the
ます
way. Like I
いやー視界取り返せないですね
so
なかな
that
か
bad to hit someone, but not able to do so. I think maybe
Dab
trying to
が
pass to get Artemis, but doesn't work out.
うまく敵をキャッチしてますよ
Down for Pallet means that Team Wells honestly might have a little bit more confidence to step forward. Glory did use the Weaver's Wall, so not going to have that available, but Sparta now.
Sparta engaged on. He's the target that honestly Wales are happy with
ス
him
キャン
engaged
カ
onto.
もタレレットかなり耐えている
One for one so far as Artemis.
エルがギリギリまでタンクしたけれどもカイザもフラッシュもないですし戦えません
Much just yet in the game. Going for a dive here, takes a couple of shots
Otto.
from BJ. Oh, the shot comes through.
お互い
Deep on this one is taken down. Glory turning
お
this
互いに
one
フラッシュを
around.
存分に使っていく
But Catty protecting
うわ
his
ジェイ
team
ス
and
ジェイス
finding
の
the
注
shot.
意
The tower was the
まだ
sixth
胸
man
完
for
成した
Team
ジェイ
Wells,
ス強い
but
です
Cathy says, I can do double that damage as he's laying
いやー
waste the artillery against them is
いや
too
セラフじゃなかったが
hard to
耐えられなかっ
Has his
た
ultimate available and he's sticking around in case Catty tries for more.
ジェイス凄まじいダメージ出してます
They're gonna relax, they're gonna reset, but
何があ
losing
った
three
ま
is
ずレ
tough
ネ
for
クトン
Wales.
がフックされました
very well
レネクトンがフックされウルト発動ジャムがかっこいいステラックで耐えていくエルがジェイスを止めていたけれどもザヤに殴られてカイザコンボジャーマンが4人の中に入っていった後フラッシュで 2DS ジャーニーがかわさせたんで止めたのでまたフラッシュアウトザヤもまたフラッシュアウトで逃げようとするけどカリアにやられ死亡
every opportunity they can as Team Wells try and hide behind the creeps.
Catty just hit
綺麗に飢えております
three
お互い
items finished off now. See Glory turning the damage down around as well. That Grandmaster's might for Kiaya, I think literally saving it from that last thread and volley. Could have been a very different fight.
一発で2割3割持ってかれますよジェイスの注意 セリルダも完成している
Those shock blasts are going to rain hell on Team Wales.
And I think Team Wales are trying to cross
Oh,
map,
hang
but
on.
Gam are saying,
Artemis?
all right, let's do it.
You can't walk
Must
into
be this-
the enemy jungle alone. It's a disaster for the Wales.
いやこれ
I mean, for
バロ
Team
ンやられ
Wales,
ち
they
ゃ
were
うぞ
looking going, oh, Dragons,
Eh,
up,
sorry,
therefore Gam do drag.
Sorry,
But instead,
Mr.
Gam were like, no, we know that you're going to try and
I
cross
did
map and go
ABC
for top
maseyo.
tower. So they called the bluff. They immediately run up river.
これ
Now
バロン
you've
と
got
ドラゴン
Artemis,
交換になるのか
no
な
AD carry. You've got two members of Team Wales on towards Dragon. This has to be a
バ
steal.
ロン取れて
But
も
Cathy's already aware of
CW は
that.
3ドラゴンです
And
これ
has
で
decided, no, BJ, you got to back away from this.
Catty
Dragon
is
3
having
体目
none of it. Chases BJ out of the vicinity. I think we've all seen how that story ends with the Jarvan waiting over the wall. It's a Baron for a Dragon.
Ocean
A
Sword
trade
まであと1
that
体と
definitely favors GAM. And that, you know, that one time was a win condition for Team Wales is now a silver lining in the Dragon Soul.
Well, that's the thing is like when you look towards Team Wales, it's again coming back to hey these picks that means
Yeah,
so much for
ちょっと
Gam. You're doing such a great job of playing off them. Pala flashing
ガン
in
ガンいってま
just
す
to
ね
set
お
up
互いに
perfectly.
カイザ
BJ's
捕まっ
trying to
て
get
指
in
導
to save his AD carry, but
相手はどこにいるのか
ends
全
up
く
using everything essentially to have to escape away in the back end of that. And now Gam, Baron up, you've got Kiaya.
全員いるとは思わなかったか
He's
さ
going to
す
be
が
able
に
to fight against Sparta in that
使えな
bot
くて
side.
もガン
You've
ガ
got
ン
Slater on the side who's going to have a ton of control over this
使えなくても
mid
ガン
lane
ガン
push
行こう
as
ぜ
well. This game becomes very tough for Team Wales to control.
サイドステップでジェイスの注意をかわしていく
Oh, hang on, be it behind enemy line.
エルがエンゲージジェイスはフラッシュ切りましたナイスジャバに囲まれてノーチャス死亡
5v4 now as they
え
charge
チェイス強すぎ
Zonius comes out
タスクブラウドで無敵になったけど死亡
falling as well. It's absolute carnage on the
いやサヤがフリーギルです
Artemis under the tower and
フラッシュをないカイサもジャックスに駆られました
and he's back in the game.
Glory, you started it off. Now has to run for the hills. Kiaya will stun himself.
いやバロンバフ持ってると攻撃力と魔力は上がりますから戦闘力高いですよバロンバフ持ち相手は強いですバロンバフ
Felt like it was a one fight at the start there. Slater especially pulling his feathers back, getting a
ジャックスがこのタワーを壊せました
the front line as well.
です
Setting it all up. Kiaya can't quite finish this tower off. They won't get any bonus
一点下
towers
がり
off
ま
this
す
fight, but GAM crucially just winning the fight.
A lot of damage onto turrets though, and like
エルが素晴らしい場所からイメージ決めましたこれでジェイスノーフラッシュザヤボールと使いましたレイル偉すぎジャバでノーチャス囲んで倒しましたよジ チェイスがとんでもないダメージ出したんですけれども、ダスクブレードが消えた後、カイさんいただから死亡です。オッツァヤが完全にフリーだったので、カイさんもフリーでしたけれども、最後はジャックスがちゃんと狩りに行きました。ノーフラッシュです、カイさん。
Yeah, I thought it was unraveled. It might have just been B, but something stunned him up when he was in the Duskblade anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But either way, Team Wales now up against it. 6,000 gold lead.
ベルは頑張りました。ちょっと
And specifically Slater.
ちょっと惜しかったか。
We already talked about how strong Catty is, but Slater 3.5 items.
でもレルさんのおかげでザヤのウルトとチェイスのスラッシュなくなりましたよ。ナイス。
Can't close that gap, can't get onto him. Even when they do, he's still got his ultimate.
Well, looks like Team Wales is going to try and just look for the pick. They said we can't fight this, but can we fight Kiaya?
まずい逃げてくれ。
Swimming south, Kiaya the target.
ジャックスさん
Into the jungle, they're not there. Are they still in the
ゴールムうまそういただきます。
in trouble. Oh god, it's 10
ま
stacks
そう
there. They're gonna go
大
for
反
it.
応するのかこれに。
Great reactions from Kiaya. I mean, the second he saw that, he
そ
was
れ
like,
がプロの反応ス
I
ピー
think
ド。
a lot of it was like, hey, we're just going to wait for the counter strike to be used, so then he tries to finish him off, but ends up not
反
paying
応
off.
できるんですねあれに。
And still now you got GAM, who, because Team Wales invested all that pressure on the spot side, we have to push mid, rotate up to get vision into this top
あ
side
れ
jungle.
いるの分かってたらそもそもゴーレム狩らないと思うんですけども、フラッシュで反応すればいいやということでゴーレム買っていたとしたらすごいですよ。
It's a Thornmail angle for Artemis at this point. Yeah, maybe not.
マイナス1セジャニさん
I mean, you could
シャマン
technically
打ちましたよね
go GA,
今。
just put a bit of armor in your kit because Catty is hitting like a truck at this point. This will be the tier 2 takedown on the top side. And GAM, once again, this feels reminiscent of game 1, right? Where actually the early game going fairly well for Team Wales, but then mistakes happen and GAM get advantages
多
of
分
the
いるか
punish.
もしれ
And
な
it
いで
feels
ゴ
now
ーレ
that
ム
Team
いた
Wales
と
have to
思
get
うよ。
advantages off of
予
the
想
next
はしてましたか。
right? You've got 3 picked up already. Sparta,
本当に
Beam,
反応だけであれは
Artemis.
さ
It's
す
kind
が
of
に
been
無
a
理
fun
か
to the opposite side.
いくらプロとはい
2
え
PAs now for Catty and Slater, plus the stopwatch there for Kiaya. It feels like this next fight, both teams kind of realize is going to swing the game either completely done for GAM or start that walk back for Team Wales, especially if they can get the soul. So trying to see if they can look for a pick, but I don't think it's going to be the case as GAM are just going to play for mid priority.
Catty's moving down. Okay, he's moving back up to the rest of his team. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for the wave there. It's Kiaya that moves over to the wave. He used his flash in the previous
ジャックス
play.
のフラッシュ
Levi moving over.
チェイ
I
ス
think
フラッ
GAM
シュ
is
上がりまし
suspicious
た。
though. They're
え
not
オー
going
シャン
anywhere.
ソウ
They're
ル
not willing to go
が
for
か
it.
かった集団戦ですけどセジャニが危ないですよこれは。
Over. They're trying to set it up.
セ
Artemis
ジャニ
goes
君
forward. Takes
逃げ
half
て
of his health.
フラッシュ
Straight
で
off
逃
the
げ
bat
てい
from
く。
Catty. Glory using that
囲
wall,
まれ
but
た
didn't really
出してく
achieve
れ。
too much. Sparta on the front line, knocked back out. His pallet now, tanking for his team. But Kiaya is
レルが敵4人タンプしてます。
somehow gets out
逆にジャックスが4人タンプしてる。
The front line is mincemeat.
あい
Slade
や
takes them apart and GAM get a trade.
ー TW オーシャンソウルがかかってたんですけどもここも取れません。
Glory as well, even in a terrible spot, so he's just got to TP immediately up to the top
カリア
side,
の壁
try and get
が
some
かなり
control over the wave so they can
うまく
actually
刺さってたと思うんですけれども
look at the pings on mid lane. They realize, hang on a second,
レルがタンクしてた代わりに
we have to
こ
try
っ
and
ちは
reset,
ジャックスがタンクしてましたね。
we can try and get some priority in this mid lane.
GAM at this point, they've realized Team Wales, they're a pod. Stick it in a coffee machine, get a nice beverage.
I mean, this was nice from Team Wales to try and set this up, but as you say, GAM are kind of wary. They're like, hang on, we only see Sparta, we don't even see
ジ
Glory.
ャックスの E2 フラッシュをセジャニのフラッシュで避けたと。
He hops off a blue buff, which means there's no one to
そして
actually
ネ
get
クト
onto
にフォーカ
Catty
ス
despite
したんですけども倒しきれず、レルが4人をタンクし、こっちはジャックスが4人をタンクしていく。カイザ必死。
There's that stopwatch we're talking about, but here's Baron already started.
そしてガムが
He's nowhere
바로
near
나붙대
TP
봤어.
finally coming in. He's
좀
into the
더
pick
아브라이죠.
here. It's going to be a 50-50. In fact, it's taken by
사야가 바로
Slayer. Going
달리마시다,
back
그지니.
defenders here. Pallet on the front line. He's tanky at this point. We'll get
ちょっと
out
バ
of
ロ
it.
ンの後なので
Catty's
防御力下がってます。
on cooldown now is Kiaya.
ガム
Trying to get the flank. Artemis turns gold and he's in all kinds of trouble.
俺の W はちゃんとザヤがウルトで反応していき、カリアがノックバックで敵を追い返していき、フラッシュで生き残りましたよ。ナイスレネクトも
And they
生
still
き
want to
残
try
っ
and chase.
た。
GAM want to try and stop Glory
Nigete
from
kure.
coming into this. That's the TP to
TP,
cut off
sta.
the members of Team Wales. GAM want to try and get these waves in check so they can actually crack open the base off this
レネクト
Sparta.
とセジャニならレネクト生き残れるぞ。
Skip and a jump over the wall. There's nobody here. I think Sparta's out.
meantime, Glory trying to get a
コードリンカー
reset
が
off
上がるたびに
here.
回復できる。
8 seconds on the clock to find that
いや、
target.
死ぬ要素ないでしょ。
We'll get a bit of damage and Glory found. The flick back's not enough. And then Slater
イコール
to
間に合わず。
secure another kill. And now massively delayed respawns on the solo laners.
And they're completely desynced. BJ going to be up with Artemis and Day, but everyone on GAM is going to be coming up. It's just Kati in 6 seconds. Then we will have to run from base, but it's still going to be a 4v3 for a significant portion of time.
レネクトンもやられました。
For a Jax, for a
ゴ
Zaya
ー
with
ル差
4.5
モリ
items,
モリと
whatever the
ガ
hell
ム
it
が
is at this
稼い
stage,
でま
like
す
this tower is
ゴー
going
ル
to
ド
go
を
down so quickly.
It's possible that this is game, honestly. Dagda, our Red Bull Baron power play could just be the last play of this game. Hook
え、
on,
ジャバをフッ
instead
ク
it's
してい
come
く。
straight back. Bean chase down Artemis, forced back
もう
onto
一
the
発
fountain.
クッジャバ倒しきれず。
Kiaya is
タ
low
ワーだ
though. Health
タワー
bars
殴りましょう。
are starting to blink on the side of
タワー
Gamma
ボス
Slater.
は自由に
Still
戦
untouched,
える。
still with the GA, but
ナイス。
still just firing away. Slater destroying Team Wales in this one as GAM go 2-1 up in the series. Sparta tries to save the day, but it's too little and it's too late.
ジジイ
And again, we're seeing that GAM want
で
to
この試合オーシャンソーにリーチをかけたチーアップルだったんですけども、その後ドラゴン取らせてもらえなかったですね。
It started off so well for them.
ガムがずっ
Controlling
と
finding those
有利取り続けて
opportunities. But again,
そのまま勝利ですか。
desync when it comes towards setting up vision,
ベトナム1
getting
位の
control
パワ
inside
ー
the lanes, and BJ getting
発揮
caught
して
out
ます。
repeatedly means that GAM find their moment to sprint.
でそしてザヤバ
But I do
ADC を
actually
1
think
対
well
バース
going
キッ
towards
ク
the, even a mid or a jungle
ザヤをバーン
maybe
されたということは
both
カイサを取るしかないんでしょう。
welcome the opportunity.
Kaiser gonna be
ザヤをバーンしたということは
the lock-in there.
自分たちでカイサを取らせて何か取りたいものがあると。
The
シンドラ
still available if you want to take that one for yourself, or you can deny the Nautilus. In fact, it's already locked in. Taking away the Kaiser Nautilus combo.
And priority for Glory. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Team Wells coming in. Get him onto comfort, set him up well. The only thing is though, because you've now kind of shown your hand with this in
なるほど
this
ちょっと
rotation, it does
確
mean
認してみ
open
ま
up
す
things
ね
like the
後
LeBlanc
で
we saw banned away previously from Kati to now come through.
そして
that
シ
is
ン
gonna
ドラ
be
の
the
打ち合わ
game
せに
plan.
対して
I
セッ
personally
ト
think
先出
Palace
し
take the Alistair here. Great setup for you. You can go well against the
セット
Nautilus as
先
well.
出し
And you can provide that CC that's in the middle, but is this just going to be
初
Kiaya
めて
taking that
出
set
て
into
きました
top
ね
lane? Or is this
先
in
出
response
し
to
セ
the
トは
bot lane?
Yeah, I think this is Pallet. I think that's a set for Pallet, to be honest. Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Certainly works well to set up the Kaiser in terms of getting the CC, getting those passive procs up. And there we go. That pretty much confirms it, right? A Renekton hop.
8.0.1
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it once from Pallet before in summer, so yeah, it is going to be the. Sorry, once from BA in
ちょっと
summer, not from Pallet. My bad.
ちょっと情報弱者なのでそれについても後で調べていきますね。申し訳ないです。バンピックを見ていきます。これ
I think you've got a lot of things that are going to be all right to just go, hey,
シンドラ
how about
対
I
セト
just,
です。
you know, put in a scat of the week in there,
一
or how about I
応
just boot you in the face
セ
and
トが
kick you back out of the equation.
いやわかん
Yeah,
ない
I've
ね。
got to
セ
say,
トサ
you
ポ
know,
ートかも
Lee
しれま
Sin
せん
not
し
had a great tournament so
そして
far,
レネクト
but
先出し
alongside a Syndra,
セト
like,
ファースト
got
ピ
a
ッ
lot
ク
of power in that mid
セ
jungle
ト
right there.
サ
That
ポ
is
ート
a
の
lot
可
of
能
presence.
性
And
が
like I say, Syndra very happy
わからないで
with
すけども
extremely
ちょっと
short-ranged opposing teams so far. The Nocturne ban has been consistent so far this series. Well, we'll see
見
in
た
the
顔
next
しか
game.
出てきません。リーシンも来ましたよ。
Ban as well, 'cause at the
最弱
moment
チャンピオン
it
リー
feels
シン
like
です
a lot of
行
things
く
that run at you on GAM, but not a lot
そ
of
して
things
ノ
that
クターンバ
stop
ン
the enemy team from running away from you. On
ジャー
GAM's
バンが
side,
空いてます
I definitely think you want something like this
ジャーバンは
to actually lock them in place.
バンさ
That's
れ
gonna
ず
be banned away.
セジャリバン
Maokai is taken away as well, so
ト
I'm
リス
kind
ター
of
ナバン
curious to see what the game plan is here for Levi.
あ
or whether
ADC の
again,
バンか
the palette is just like, hey,
エズリアルが空い
we've
て
already
ま
got
すよ
the set in the bot lane, so it's like, well, what does Cassie then try and play in mid to start things off? It ends up very, very wonky.
エイトロックスバン
I actually love the bans that are getting
ADC
through
何
at the
取るん
moment,
ですか
just getting rid of those
カリスタ
engagements. Okay.
もうエズリアルは相手でも取られないそうです
Straight up aggro here across the board. Like Syndra, the
昨
mid
日
lane lead
俺できたカリスタタリックは序盤かなり苦しんでたんですけども後半巻き返して結局最後までキャリーしましたね使うのが簡単なチャンピオンではないですよ
You'd assume a support, sorry, you'd assume a mid
ウー
laner
コン
and a jungler
こ
here.
のガムのジャングラーリーバイだけ
Levi
が
gonna
ウ
go
ーコ
back
ンを
to his
使ってます
classic, bringing out the Wukong, one of the players that was still
そして使
very
った
much
試合は
enamored
2
with
試
this
合かな
champion despite the
全部
nerfs.
勝ってます
Kind of as we start to see it dip across pretty much globally in all regions. Levi was one of those players that was still willing to bring it out, and this is kind of the engage tool that we were talking about. I wasn't sure maybe if they go for the Vi. This is a very potent combo with the Orianna there.
That's an extremely potent combo, and I just want
そ
to
してランブル、そういえばバンから漏れてましたね、このチャンピオン。
no different for Levi.
そういえば
point or basically 91% win rate over 11 games.
出ました。今までずっと
in the jungle there,
バンされ
feeling
てて
strong.
出てきてなかったんですけれども、
We saw banned a lot of the starter players that sort of fallen out of favor.
これセットサポートですね。そしてレメクソに対してマルファイトきた。
I mean, look at the grin there on the coach's face.
このマルファイト強そうかなり。
Let's just go for it. We already know that we've got.
ブラジルのトップレーナーはケネに対してマルファイトを出して泥ガスにされてました。今回は違います。ちゃんと物理チャンピオン対面です。
And you've got decent setup here as well. Like if you can set up for a good scout of the week from the Syndra, you can set up for Artemis in these fights.
後出しのマルファイト強いんですよ。
It does come back to your point you made earlier, Munchables. If you don't get rolling on this bot side, you don't have the damage in team fights to have that consistent DPS, Team Wales are going to struggle.
I feel like Glory is going to be a focus point here for Team Wales. He's been reasonably quiet this series compared to what we've seen so far in play-ins. And he's going to have a lot of damage. He's going to have to be a lot of setup with that Scat of the Week as well. We need to see a great game from Glory.
And specifically working with BJ. I want to see this mid-jungle pop off. Scatter the weak into the Sonic Wave, kill this Orianna over and over.
Looter の回戦速度
absolutely miserable, and then you can join that into the bot lane as well. And make them miserable. The goal here of Team Wales is to have GAM crying their eyes out by the time they finish in this game. Because if not, they don't have a hope of moving on to that main stage. And it will be GAM Esports who are cheering once again as Team Wales have left themselves with tears in their eyes.
At this point, well, first off, I don't condone bullying, so I'm basically cheering for GAM now after that. I really hope they're not just trying to make GAM cry. But realistically,
そうですね、そのあたりも
like this series has been so
ちょっと見ていきたいん
fun
で
to
す。
watch so
現
far.
在とても
VCS finals
快適に
rematch and GAM looking
こ
to
の
repeat their
WCS を見れてます。
scoreline. They got a 3-1
今のところ
win
画質もいい。
domestically.
止まることもない。
See if they can repeat it here in the qualifications, but Team Wales not going down
ガム対
without
TW
a fight. They lock a full aggro
4戦目ですね。
position. They
始ま
are
りました。
bringing it to GAM.
ガムが2勝1敗で有利を取っていると。
You can see
マ
everyone
ルファイトは
spreading out across the ways, wanting to make sure that
悪撃
nobody
ですね。
gets any sort of vision down. Because every single game, we've seen these kind of late invades to get vision and make sure that you're in an okay spot. We've even seen split maps coming in from game 2.
カイサはヘイルブレイドの脅威型です。これマルファイト相手大丈夫ですか？
Take it nice and easy.
カイ
Bit
サ
of damage across the Levi though.
これ脅威カイサなんですけど。
And eat them. Delicious. It's not very good for you though, I will say. Chips. Trying to eat less.
Pretty
chips
sure
at
it's
the
a
minute.
poker term rather than. Oh, so we call them crisps.
I was talking about
What are you
like
talking about?
chips, as in like fries to.
Ah,
多分最初にフォーカスするのがマルファイトとノーチラスになるとは思うんですけれども。
Team Wales moving in once again. We've seen this sort of invade. Did they get spotted?
ウーコにブラッククリーバーを持ってもらってどうにかするか。
Honestly,
あ
I think they did. BJ
セドのとんでもない入れちまってしまいリーシンカムラーズフラッシュ。
Artemis getting some stacks going.
ジャンルドサポートのフラッシュトレンド。
I think that's quite enough for that to be a positive play. We do have
え
a pause.
Pause coming through, but
ジェームポーズ
It's
来
a
た。
potential in-game issue with Glory. League officials have found that it was a monitor notification and not a client issue. Teams have been informed there will be no such remake, and we are back into the game. Fight night continues.
サビ抜き
as it
わさび
were.
食べられま
Anyone
せ
that's just
ん。
joined
辛
us,
すぎて。
Pallet
わさびの話をしてる間に
Flash. I
ゲー
think
ム
that was
再開です。
I'm pretty sure he used his flash. There
始
was
まり
another
ました。
one invade. Team Wales tried to make something aggressive happen in the bottom side. You can see BJ, no flash in that jungle, had to flash out, and now low HP as he goes for his clear. Flash forward.
ルンの打ち合わせミスりました。
Level 2.
おジェスなんかいろいろミスり。ダメージ取れる敗北していく。何のポーズかちょっと分かんなかったですけれども。ランド打ち合わせミスってるの主導権がなくなりましたかこれ。ルーコンがミッドにちょっかいをかけに行きシンドのフラッシュを取っていく。これリーシンラクタ食べられてるの分かってますよ。
So BJ will be aware that this is going down, but I don't think there's very much that he can do
ラ
about
ク
it.
タは
Levi
諦め
can take this
クルーグを食べに行きますか。
he needs to hit level 3.
マルファイト序盤プッシュされるのはしょうがないです。これは
Having control over mid as well.
だんだんと強くなっていくチャンピオンですから、ビルドがない状態で強いチャンピオンではないので、これはしょうがない。マルファイトが寄れるわけではないので。
Levi had gone for needed either the crunch or the gromp in that one.
びっくりしてキーボード壊しちゃったか。
BJ was spotted there. He's managed to sneak in behind enemy lines. Pallet, though, in the meantime, moving towards the mid lane. Oh, Glory, you're in so much trouble. And he doesn't have his flash available after the level 1 red buff to slow him down. Haymaker from Pallet.
今のセドが取ってよかったのかな。
I love to see. I will say Levi probably doesn't like to see it
プープンが絶対取れるキーに見えたけど、わキルで逃すよりはいいか。
Only losing out on
そうするなら早めに倒した方がいいしな。ボットレーンは CS は負けてません。タワープレート1枚取られちゃったけど、まあ、カリサが育った代わりにセドが育ったと、あまりいいトレードではないですけれども、もうお金が入ったということはブーツを先に変えるということで、セド君のローブに期待しましょう。
Maybe hoping Catty would come and try and ward that brush or something like this.
これセド ADC か。
Anyway, Artemis in the meantime did get a plate down in that bottom side of CCS. Relatively even. And as this wave pushes out, that's kind of your opportunity for Artemis, for Beer, to look for a potential all-in with the Ignite.
Yeah, there isn't a lot that you can do against Slater, though, because he was able to back and get the longsword versus just the pass on the opposite side. But this is just really nice. Glory already burnt the
いや、フラッシュないシンドラ。 もう逃げられるわけなし。
And at this stage, Pallet, I know you want the assist, but you definitely should have just left that for Levi.
いや、結構最初のガンクで簡単にフラッシュ落としちゃったし、僕も KS に見えました。サポートがジャングルのキル盗んだんですけど、わあ、ウコに入った方が100倍いいですから。
Levi in the area, but I don't think this is a diveable angle right now, so he's going to be able to clear that one. BJ was sort of hovering as well, just in case.
Yeah, also with the reset coming through from Slater and Pallet again, so trying to see if they can keep up the matching the buy that just came through from Artemis. You can see he reset for the recurve, so trying to match fire with fire with the spray of Dirk net completed. So again, should have a bit more control there for the pricing in this matchup, just off the buy states, and also the fact that again Pallet has been doing a great job of getting into position as smite away by Levi.
フォースとセドサポートが ADC だと思い込み始めるのか。
He's quite far behind in CS at this point. Glory starting to take control of this mid lane matchup. Catty,
悲しいですよ。
low on HP, low on mana. Glory at that level 6 mark. Like, if they're both low on HP in that mid lane, when you hit level 6, that's a big advantage towards Glory. Pallet flashing forwards though.
シンドラさん、これはひどい、さすがに。
Great play from Pallet. Managing to catch Glory on the edge of that now.
いや、これはちょっと許されない。
as well, but I thought we might have seen Team Wells trying to make a play in towards mid lane. I was actually meant to praise Glory for it. The advantage he's picked up, and now Sparta.
それで死んでしまうのはちょっと。
He's going into the mid lane.
マルファイト来ちゃう。でもダメージ足りません。よし、ギリギリのうちはすぐキル獲得。ウゴのフラッシュリーシも倒しき1。でもマルファイトさんが強いですよ。マルファイトさん強いですよ。ナイス。マルファイトもフラッシュでキル回収。わあ。
GAM just needed to back away. They got
マルファイトありがとう。
but instead try to overextend, and this Team Wales
マルファイトありがとうなんですけど、リコールしないといけないので、トップレーンがかなり不利になります。で、ネクトめちゃくちゃ育ちますよ。これは。ちょっとワースが怪しい。これ。 本当にワースか怪しい。
Ultimately, that bonus kill there evens up the gank that we saw onto Glory earlier on in the lane.
そうですね、お互いのサポートが別の場所に行って寂しい思いしてますよ。
continue to make plays in mid? Because ideally that's what Team Wales was going for. You can see that BA was already waiting in the wings.
いやちょっと時間かけすぎちゃったな。レネクトンだけ寄ってないのに。いやこれシンドラが良くないと思いますよ。僕は。あまりにも簡単にディスしてしまってる。いや瀬戸佐藤と差があるな。いやここで結構時間かかりましたから。ブムフラッシュないですからね。ミッドレーナーは結構ディスすると試合に影響が大きいですけれども。
For that Kai'Sa ultimate, fly in, get the kills onto the AD carry. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Sparta flashes, finishes that kill. Makes it impossible, and then Glory getting the bonus.
これはドラゴンとヘラルドの交換かな。
top side. And we kind of reset to 0 for a second. I just want to quickly mention this.
ドラゴン触りません。
I feel like we're almost seeing like the foreshadowing of the fact that Adam's playing later today. First off,
このワードようやく見つけましたね。
but also we get a set in this lobby as well. It feels like a very like pre-Adam series.
いやカリスタがリコールするならドラゴンは触れないですか。
Darius here for Team Wales when they bring out the gods, or if it's going to be a different style. Sorry, or if it's going to be the dogs for GAM instead. But I think this has kind of been a decent spot for GAM from the get-go, right? Your set's doing perfectly well. You play aggressive, which is what you want from the set, especially roam, and being able to set up the team. You've got the Rift Chart now in your back pocket. Very much started for Levi. As long as you can actually get this down to the bot side, I think you're in a great spot. I'm a bit concerned about them trying to get control over mid lane here for the Rift Herald, just because if Bey is there and Beanjay is there, there's a lot of burst damage that can come out to Kati, point in case right there. And if you end up in a situation where you get stunned, Beanjay follows up, he has kick into a hook, you don't really get to play the game as Kati. So I think leaning bot into a play there is going to gain more for GAM, especially in Palette's
お互いにミッドかなり見ます。
So you're taking a little bit of poke there. Drake up on the map right now, and Catty down to half HP as they are fighting desperately for Prio now. You can see Catty doing everything he can to get control of this mid lane, but when your health bar's this low, yeah, Palette moving over.
マルファに対して3回やですね。
Catty get this wave in because
それが一番強いと思います。
Palette, I've got to say, it's been on point so far on this.
わあ、サポートセットがミッドにハラスしていく。その代わりにカイザがちょっと CS が取れませんね。ミッドで有利取ったのでドラゴン取りたい。ナイス。 マルファイト来た。ちょっともったいないウルトの使い方になったけどマルファイト。あ、やべ。
Beautiful positioning
いや
from
マルファイ
Levi.
トのウルトちょ
I
っ
think
と
Team
もっ
Wales
たい
just
な
think
か
that he
っ
got
た
over the
か。
wall with
こ
the
れ
clone, and that's why they weren't worried about him. But Levi,
レネクト1体しか当たりませんでしたから。
no vision there for Team Wales, and GAM strike perfectly back onto the play.
I mean,
瀬戸さんがゲーム破壊してますよ。今のところ。
100% kill participation and a hat trick on this set. It's not a meta pick, but it's working beautifully.
So you see here, Team Wales trying to take the fight. Dragon goes down, and they see Levi exit into the pit. So they see, oh, they're trying to back away. Levi's going to go over the wall, but Levi doesn't. So actually sets up
いやー、瀬戸のウルトが全員に入ったか。E も2人にゲン、W も2人にゲッチ
and Slater's then able to use the CC that's already been there.
これが瀬戸佐藤とでやりたかったことでした。
I mean,
150点。
with that. Look at that from Levi.
They are over the moon with that one, feeling the energy. The funny thing is, it's not even like the first kill he got. Yeah, fair play. Palette kind of just stole that.
これうまく入ったらすごいですね。
The first one was a necessary kill. The second one in that fight was actually his Ignite that kind of unluckily took it. So it's not even like he's actively trying to take these kills either.
苦しい状況続きます。
So far, so good for GAM. You see the goal difference there, slowly but surely eking upwards. Over 2,000 at this point. Artemis as well. He's on this Kalista. You kind of want to be ahead in this kind of game. And we're talking about Team Wales picking this composition that really want to scrap, that really want to go forward, but doesn't feel like they can right now.
And that's the biggest problem. Artemis just hasn't been in a position where they can try and play off him because Palette has just been pushing the bot,
ミッドにヘラルドを出しますね。これ
Palette is in a lot of trouble. Forced to
お
flash.
フラッシュに逃げます。
That's going to give a ton of control.
これ回復阻害ないとレネクト相手厳しいか。
know
Tool angle
flash
必要
on the
か。
Malphite makes it significantly easier for GAM to position fights.
He does. Glory be able to clear this wave, deny the Herald. Oh,
これ
not deny the
体力危ない
Herald,
です
kill
よ
the Herald, but
体力危ないで
get
す。
that one plate off the back of the Herald, and Kiaya already 2.5 plates in on the top side, close to a third
いやで
one.
もマルファイトテレポートがない。またタワートレートと CS を失うことになる。
Here, aside from Sparta, so won't be able to do too much. Although,
いやマルファイト残ることを選びましたね。
bottom side,
大丈夫かなあれ。
Catty looking for an all in onto Glory, but the scat of the week were denied.
Yeah, just about able to back away. You see though, Caddy now
今回オリアナフェイズラッシュじゃなくてエアリーですね。
because he can get the
剣
kill.
の強さを重視してます。
Looking for a
これ
solo kill. Catty is
まずいです、ミッドレーン。
destroying Wales.
ミッドレーンとてもまずい。
Still looking BJ forcing ward hop, but he still got the follow the kick away.
リーシもまずい。
4 kills for the bloodthirsty support of GAM.
Pala
リー
is
シンさん
taking them apart.
0-3 に
This is brutal.
シードしてます。今日のリーシン。
Game number 4 is their game right now.
なんか試合が分かりやすいな。
They want to win on
リ
the
ーシン
board.
取るだけで負ける。
Beautiful stuff from GAM. Catty at the moment is putting
こ
the
の
double
ウルトナール
wide
状態での
into
1対
Glory. Every time he
1。
tries to step up, Catty's
空港に
asking
勝てるわけ
why,
なし。
puts him in his place, and then on this, like you can
キ
see
ッ
it
ク
here,
して
Catty
戦
knows
闘
he's
拒
got
否
the
する
damage.
ことしかできない。
Steps past the orb, so there's no way the scatter from weak can land. The
Oh,
shockwave
Oriana
is
punch.
beautiful, and the clockwork wind up with that damage is straight there. BJ then tries to step into position, but the damage thanks to that divine thunder be completed. 2 bashes sets him up perfectly, and Paladin
リーシンフラッシュを使ったか。フラッシュで壁越えられ
It
ず。
sets him up perfectly, and then
Aya.
Set gets involved as well. Takes the kill. Pallet with 4.
Oh, no.
Look at the
Oh,
support
no.
goal difference. I have never seen a support goal difference this strong outside of Seda.
He's the second most goal difference in the game.
エッシュドがキャリーですこの試合。
These Massacre Lane Academy snapshots where we
Yeah.
just get to see that here is the stupid amount of goal difference you need to look at.
I will say this.
カイ様を視界を取るアイテム取ってるので、これはカイササポートですね。
You're 8 and 3 up. You're
It's
5k
also
up.
set.
It
Like,
is
Machine
in
is-
everyone, you're kind of like, hey, this is actually all right. Like, I'll be able to make this one work. So,
ですね。
and they're making it work. Levi and Pallet have decided that they're going to go hold hands around the map. Now starting off the Rift Herald.
いや、ヘラルドも取れる。ちょっとミッドレーンとジャングル。
Around this area, 'cause
いやもう
like,
全部発注してるな。
we can start to link
ミッドからジャングルに、そしてトップにも影響出てますよ、これ。
a little bit late for, so if Team Wales are quick enough, they might be able
ち
to
ょっ
make something
と
happen there. But
ランプしてくださ
I
いよ。
think they're a bit worried that if
簡
they
単にですが
Dragon, they're actually going to
落
lose
ちて
their
し
mid
まっております。
Move with the Hextech Drake next.
まあ、サポートカイサさん、タンクよろしく。
No cloud souls today, but Levi flashed away by Artemis, but the shockwave, you can't flash away from that one.
せ
He'll
ー
survive for the time being. That's 2 ultimates used, and now Glory forced to flash
の。
himself.
死んだらノーフラッシュ。
Correct, though. Kiaya still getting the better of that. You can see the amount of Merc thread
でも
value that's
カ
going
リ
to
スタ
come
生き
out of this
残る
one.
ことに成
Between
功
the
です。
Malphite Nanos and the Syndra means that he's perfectly happy to go toe to toe with
あの、
Glory.
また死んだらさ、
He
フラッ
though
シュ
has
ない
no
です。
ultimate. Needs to be
あなた
careful
今から
Sparta.
死にますよ
No。flash. But if you're all in the pit here as GAM, maybe this is where Artemis can come
ミニオン
alive.
が少ないので大動はできずと。
So second level on that ultimate. Keep your eyes on the Malphite. The ult has to be huge. Glory
これリーシンを投げてスチールを。
could be massive if
あ、ダブル
Sparta
使った
set
瀬
it
戸。
up. Pallet
マルファイ
actually
ト
gonna
を
bring
後ろに投
Sparta
げ
to
て
the
い
rest
く。
of his team. Still holding on to that ultimate.
いやー、スマイトバトルリーシン強いですね、やはり。
And it's huge damage coming down
これは
onto
オリアナが
the
デス
base.
をして
There's another one for Glory.
リーシンやれるか。ちょっと無理です、これは。
It's just
いけません。
disaster for the side of GAM.
The fact that
これはかなり GW 頑張りましたよ。
He's kind of their big
ドラゴンスチールしてさらに3キル。
And I think Team Wales read the situation perfectly. We have the opportunity to take this fight with the ultimates. The position
そう
we
ですね、
have,
カリスタ
and they
捕まえる
fight
ためにウーコンもウルト使ってましたから。
I can't believe how one-sided that fight was. They're so far behind, or at least were.
ち
So
ょっと
far
欲張った
behind.
か。
Now with a Hextech Drake, and it's an
これ
infernal soul this game.
セトがリーシンをウルトで遠くに投げるというのは、あ、届かないですね。届かない。い
So he ends up going away. Kiaya is now overextended to try and get
や
out of
ー、
this.
スマイトバトルリーシン強いです。そしてマルファイトもちゃんとウルトを2人に入れている。
is coming into
Kaiser.
position
カイサが殴れる状況ではないです。ちょっとやりすぎたか。ちょっとカリスタを捕まえるのにリソース使いすぎましたか。それで倒せてればいいんですけども、倒せなかったので、その代償をサンデスとドラゴンで払うことになりましたよ。ゴール差が今のでかなり縮まりました。倒せなかったのにもうちょっとでドラゴン取りそうな気がしたんですけども、相手も許してくれなかったですね。バースだこれ。ジャングルとイーディッシュの交換、まあ1、2トレード。バースよしよし。大丈夫かこれ。ボットタワーがフリーで割られますよ。ワンさんにテレポート誰もないですよ。
Just when you think one person has gotten a lead, they come back. BJ was trying to set up here, I think, for a kick, but the minion died.
これはタワーを破壊し、
but Levi immediately beats them to the punch, goes in aggressively, just decimates Artemis with the shockwave from Kati, putting Artemis into the team. Then you get the follow-up punch, the single damage later.
まあキルしきれなかったのカイサが回収と。
But not so much for Kati.
Yeah, I don't think Kati's getting out of this one alive.
でもフラッシュな俺は耐えられるわけなしと。そして今度は逆サイドですね。逃げられるのこれ。まさかまさか。あいや惜しい。
Walks away with his life. Glory arriving on the scene. I don't think this is a 2v1 he can take right now.
Still top lane going down.
なんかいろんなとこでいろんな言葉を来てます。ノーフラッシュ。おっシャットダウンがリーシンに入る。
The tower didn't go down in bot lane. The charge didn't go across from the Rift Tower. Glory was able to interrupt it. So Team Wales actually fight the 1-for-1, get tower, but might be Glory who falls.
ちょっと無限に戦闘が起きてます。追いつけませんちょっと。
Realistically overstepping, and you said, you know, the tower survives not any longer.
It was so close to being a big win for Team Wales. They get the tower, they match kills, but I think Glory kind of breathed an early sigh of relief. Was like, okay, we're all gonna push off. But Levi, as you called out in that play, held on to that ultimate for so long that they just must have assumed it wasn't.
いやお互いのミッドレーナーが敵に狩られていきます。
Now you get full vision control on the spot side.
カイサ4キル。アイテムが安いので2コア半完成です。カリスタマグイーンソーが欲しいですね。
It's all coming to a head, Dagda. We've got more than a kill a minute so far in this game, and with Drake spawning in 45 seconds, you got to expect there's going to be more.
But this is the thing. I think if you're looking at Team Wales, you have
マルファイトはこの後にジャックショーに行くんですね。
If you can try and set up and play off the vision you have established at Baron, maybe you can try and push mid and draw GAM into this area. Because if you're walking in blind to Sparta, to Glory,
いや0キル3デスだったリーシンも盛り返してきまして、シャットダウンたくさん取ってアイテムかなり強いですよ。
Team Wales will be able to fight for mid priority and actually get the vision control that they need back on this river area.
It does feel like GAM with 2 items on Slater already in a fantastic spot for this fight. If Slater can position correctly, he will one-shot people with this build, and assuming he's not on Sparta at very least.
Keep your eyes on Levi. Flashes up. Ult just came up.
マルファイトのウト誰にも当たらず、当たったのはウーカの分身のみ。マルファイトノーフラッシュ。いやこれ戦えるのか。マルファイトのウルトなしで。
Levi still has his engaged though.
Yeah,
That's where
it's
GAM
so-
actually have the advantage. You need BA. This has to be a huge
CBC.
knock from BA, but there goes Levi.
ブーコフラッシュ。カリスタがフラッシュでそれを避けていく。カリスタが非常にいいですよ。これカイサー死ぬな。死にます。カリスタがタンクしてるんですけど、誰か
see BJ alongside him. No ultimate available as we're just in full retreat for Team Wales.
ちょっと思ってたのと違う。
Sonic waves. The consistent overextension from Team Wales, because he hasn't been landing these Qs, is causing them major issues. See, there, that's overextended for Sliver on the bottom lane tower. That's where Palad's able to come in to finish off Artemis. Now GAM have control over Dragon, but I don't know how much control they have.
タンクサポートをセトにゴールドが集まってます。
Sparta can be able to TP in just a matter of seconds, and his ult is just around the corner.
BJ's just looking for a 2v1.
リーシン強いぞ。 里の回収したリーシン、敵のドラゴンを止めましてオリアナを倒していき、これ逆にドラゴン取れるんですか。
I mean, it shouldn't have gone this way, but you'd be happy as it is Team Wales managing to get that play.
いやちょっと TW 難しい形になったと思うんですけれども、結局ドラゴンを取れるのは TW と。 これマルファイトのウルトが誰にも当たらなかったんですよね。誰も当たらない後の集団戦でこのフラッシュにカリスタのフラッシュで反応し、カリスタフリーディールですよ。マルファイトが3人の攻撃をタンクしている。ここをだいぶカリスタがタンクで死んじゃうのがこのまま。
Because now Artemis is overextended underneath the tower. Pallet is set up then to follow
しかもキルを取ったのはリーシンと
Artemis stay safe in this fight.
ADC で一元になって他のチャンピオン育ててるんですけど、
But as he said, Kati thinks he has way more that he can do in this scenario, but once that damage lands, you've already got the Core Drinker here from BJ. He's able to keep himself nice and healthy, Conqueror stacked. It's easy pickings for BJ.
And I think awkward pathing there from Pallet as well, going into the pit to Hex Splash over, but couldn't actually join. So it ends up actually being a 2v2, even though there was 2 players on the map for GAM.
I do want to bring us back into
全
focusing
然
on
わからず、
after the
チー
team
ムファイ
fight.
トダメージ
See
カリスタが
Artemis doing some work.
4077ダメー
The
ジ。
Nashor's 2 just picked up for Slater. Absolutely massive for the Kaisa. She's going to be a menace now in these fights, especially if you can proc that ultimate. Or sorry, proc that passive.
Yeah.
Also looking at Artemis, Gwinsu's Blade of the Rune King. He's in a great spot. Stopwatch as well to stop some of these engagements from Kiaya or even Levi.
カリスタ次第ですね。でもグイーンソーできましたよ。
are going to be firing
それに対してカイサは3個は
Kiaya wants to try and get a flank
ナッシャー完成してる。
Very careful if you're Artemis.
Certainly do. And it feels like the next couple of fights could decide everything. GAM, they
カリスタが W で確認していく。
Did they get
かわせ
spotted?
かわ
I
せ。
don't think so there,
バ
but
レ
they
ました
cleared it
場所は。
anyway, so that'll give
コ
away
ン
the
トロールワ
ghost.
ードでも確認
Trying
と
to move in. Kiaya still behind enemy lines. Artemis actually can't
ベネクトンがカリスタ暗殺しインテグルクレンズ持っているので会話に出ることに成功。ウコンがシンダロを倒しております。ワニさん頑張って帰っておりますけれども、マルファイトがウルトでとどめを刺しますか。とどめを刺したのはカリスタです。カリスタずっとダメージディールできてますよ。ファイティングそれ以上はもう無理だ。
He's the only one left. The Paladin is just going to keep him away as the rest of GAM get control over mid. Paladin can't kill if Artemis isn't careful, but it doesn't matter. GAM, they have the health bar on Levi. They're going to turn over towards the Baron.
GAM get their opportunity to take control of this game now as Catty moves in to help with that Baron.
いやクレンズで即座に反応していきます。
Kiaya is on a ward, so they knew this was happening. The cleanse from
シ
Artemis
ンダラ
gets
捕
a
ま
good
って何もできず
position,
死亡。
but again with Glory going down, there's not really enough
映
damage
画では
there.
カイサがちょっとダメージ出しづらいですよ。リーシンの中を食らってしまったカイサ。カイサを守るためにウコンがウルトを打っていく。
These clones have been getting so much value from
リーシンうまい。
where the Nautilus goes in, gets the knock up, BJ tries to escape.
リーシンうますぎ。
Slater flashes in to follow up on it.
いやでもシャットダウンカイサに入った。シンドラがダメージ全く出せませんでしたねこれ。
Not enough if Glory is going to go down like that.
そして集団戦で勝利したのでガムがバロンを取っていきます。シンドラさんちょっと。
The missed timing on the scat of the week and now Artemis has to use that stopwatch, but the entire gang is here. Catty the target.
マルファイトのウルトにゾーヤで対応していきます。いやクレンズ内カリスタ死亡。ワニさん落とせません。リーシンタイマーにマルファイトめちゃくちゃ硬いですよ。硬いですけどもチームメイトがいませんよ。
You're going nowhere.
死んだらも死ぬ
Is taking control.
あい
He
や
wants a Swiss.
Glory is going nowhere, but I can tell you where GAM are
ー
going.
これ
And
その
it's
ま
the
ま
base
終わってしまう
of
か
Team Wales off the back
ノーチラ
of
ス
a
しかいない
magnificent pick onto
これ
Artemis.
そのまま
That's the
GG
beat
の恐れがあります。カリスタ6秒だけどカリスタ復活してもダイブされておしまいです。
That's for sure. A 10,000 gold lead as they start to hammer away.
ノーチラスがミニオンをタワーから遠ざけています。ますけれども、あいよー、いやー、ガム強い。ベトナム1位対2位の試合、無事ベトナム1位のガムが勝利しました。いや、瀬戸佐藤とのパワー最後まで出し切りましたよ。
Working so well to find these opportunities around mid lane to keep Glory in check, to find picks
これ
on
ベトナム
Artemis.
優勝候
This
補か
was
も
a
しかして。
phenomenal game from the VCS for a seed.
いいですね、同じ国同士 仲良し
These two teams have
仲良し小良し
played
で
many times. These players have played many times across the years, and you can see Team Wales not
瀬戸番が来るの
too
かこれ。
at least if you're gonna get knocked out, at least it's a team from your own region that then qualifies to the Swiss stage. But I mean,
いいですね、同じ国同士の戦い。
I mean, being that close, having that game 2 go so well in your favor, having some moments
頑
where
張れ
it
ガム
could have been
頑張れ
your time to pick up that mantle and